I am live. I'm live. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Ah, so much to say, so much to do. I love the first part of the morning because it's kind of like it's like a reset, you know. It's a chance to take on the things you started yesterday and start new stuff. And I kind of got a routine going here. It's a little cold, so I usually just go straight out, like 7 and get started on the garden. But it's like at 9 o'clock, it's cold now. The fall is here. So I'm starting to go out more like 10:30 because I don't like the cold. I'm a sun person. I like the sun on my skin. I do not like the cold. It feels bad. The cold makes me want to run, you know, like get the fuck on. So anyway, so I decided to change my little routine a little bit. So I'm starting out with more like today, I'm gonna do stuff in the bathroom. And if you hear the echo, it's because I'm in the master bathroom. It sounds funny. But my daughter's asleep, and so I'm trying not to be too loud. If I go in the kitchen, I start banging shit around, I get loud in the kitchen. So I said, let me just keep the house quiet. So I either can go outside or I can come into the bathroom. And so I'm in the master bathroom. And I can do two things in here. I got two things I can do. That'll take me a while for my stream. But anyhow, good morning, good morning. Um, so I don't have no fire and brimstone this morning. I'm chilling. I should have brought my coffee in here. Um, but the thing I want to talk about, and y'all know I'm pro marriage. I'm pro marriage. And I don't know, I get a kick out of it. I get a kick out of hearing the backwardness that is not normal that I come in contact with on these platforms. And it's kind of like, I guess that it's a phenomenon that exists because the most dysfunctional people come on the internet to kind of cope and explain and collaborate on why they can't function in a so-called normal way. You know what I'm saying? Good morning, Gabe. Gabe, man. Gabe, I was not last night. I caught a section of let me see how should I say it? We're gonna call the spook who sat by the window. Since we're in territory of people having no names, the spook who sat by the window talking trash. How you gonna talk trash to Gabe? How you talking trash to Gabe? Like, come on, seriously? And I thought about it. I said, you know what? Gabe is he has an intimidating presence, So people got to try to talk crap. They don't know how to handle the energy of Gabe. Gabe is a well-spoken, intelligent brother. And the truth be told, he the brother who got everything they want. I'm talking like you ain't. I'm talking to you, Gabe. That's just reality. They talking trash because you have accomplished everything that they are trying to figure out how to get in their 40s and 50s. You already there. And so, yeah, that's frustrating to talk to somebody like you. Yeah, man, they hate you. Ain't no lie about it. Oh, this, oh, that. Look at your nigga, this, that, da, da, da. Look at this. Look at, just pointing out nothingness, pointing out absolutely nothing. What they fail to realize is no matter what kind of verbal insults and BS they assume and make up, the reality is you are that man. You are where they are trying to be, and nothing changes that. Nothing changes that. Accomplished, independent, been grown, all of that. The wife, the family, the home, all of that. The career, the intelligence, the education. You've been that for a long time. You irritate the hell out of them. That's all I can tell you. I run into this from all sides, on all sides, from the Warrens to the BGSs. I bother them. You're supposed to, but you know why you're supposed to? Because you shine a mirror. You shine a mirror to them. And that mirror, you can't explain it. See, the thing is when you if a that's what I'm talking about today. This is imperfect connection. This is the inspiration actually today. These bag men are carrying a lot of um I gotta be careful, my voice will echo louder. I gotta talk at a lower tone. Um these men carry a lot of baggage and a lot of weight. And they have gotten online and they're trying to figure out why they're not married, why they can't get married. That's why they keep talking about dating because dating is the so-called first step. That's why they obsess about dating. They want to be married. They want to be able to say, "I have somebody." So instead of them being able to directly address why dating, meaning getting somebody interested, is so hard that they can't get to marriage. So they spend a lot of time. There's no reason why a 30, 40-year-old man should be scuffling and struggling. These are bags. Bag man, you gonna hurt your back carrying all them bags like that. And they're to the point where they're not fresh. They're not fresh. There's nothing fresh. There's nothing exciting. You just carrying baggage. And the ultimate goal for these men is marriage. So in the meantime, in between time, they spend all of their energy downplaying marriage, talking about how it's not this and you just a slave and this and that. This is what you guys are spending your time pursuing. Come on now. Who you fooling? Who you fooling? Maybe it's my communication method as well. I don't respect unaccomplished dudes by default. They feel it. Gabe, you have an air of superiority, which you should. It's well earned, my brother. It's well earned. And no matter what they're saying, I know you don't give a fuck. That I do know. You do not get your validation from the internet. See, that's another point. You have confidence. You have the luxury. Even look at that. You have the luxury where from where you stand. I'm laughing too much. Let me calm down. This shit's funny. You have the luxury. I keep smiling. Look at how many levels of insult a walking Gabe is. You have the luxury, okay, from where you stand to literally hold a mirror up to them, not even trying to. Your mere presence is a mirror. And when that mirror reflects back, right, onto them, they have to say, well, that's a black man, right? He's got this, he's got that. So then the whole thing is, so it's not impossible. He did it. You see what I'm saying? That in and of itself, your presence tears down all the lies. The fact that you exist, it tears down every bullshit argument. It tears down every excuse. Your existence is proof that they're full of shit. You damn right when you walk in the room, they mad. And you have the luxury of time and mental capacity to giggle and laugh and pick at their ass. That right there really burns them up. They not coming online coping, entertaining themselves. They coming online coping, trying to keep from killing themselves. That's the truth. You're not coming online trying to cope and get away from reality. They are. That's another level of insult. You are a walking insult because you're a successful black man. You have everything they want to have. You are everything they want to be. I rock with you, Gabe. I rock with you. You are a rare specimen in these streets. That's the truth. And people can say what they want to say. Let me put that out there. People can say what they want to say. Gabe, I think you're not even. I don't even think you're 45. You're not 45. He said, indeed, you got to be confident in this world. My real world would me eat me up if I didn't stand my truth. Hell yeah. And you constantly around white men, so I know you got your armor on. Yes, Gabe, there is an understanding, everything understood. And I know I do the same thing. I drive them absolutely fucking crazy. I know it because I'm not the Keisha. I'm not the angry black woman who's struggling with her baby daddies, and she's broke and she's poor and she's unempowered and she's a crazy feminist who talks crazy to men and she can't attract nobody, she can't keep nobody. She's worn out, she's got 20 bodies, all this shit. She's this, she's that, she's horrible, she's uneducated, she's on food stamps. Like I'm the same. Flip side, I defy all of the lies and excuses they make about how horrible black women are. So yes, when I walk into the room, it's like, oh God, that not Keisha's here. They mad with me for not being Keisha. And that's why they spend so much of their time trying to tear me down because I don't fit their stereotype. They want to sell all black women a bag. When I walk into the room, it's like, really? I got an answer for all of that. And it's not even because I'm trying to. I ain't never going to get married. I got married at 17. Now what? Oh, they all got babies and children. They want you to be stepdaddy. I waited 10 years after being married in my second marriage. Plan to have children. Actually, spend $50,000 to have children on fertility. Oh, they so stupid. They don't know anything. I'm highly educated. What else you got for me? What you got? I'm Southern and fat. That's about the only thing you can throw in my face. I'm Southern and fat. Okay. Just like the rest of America. And these men kill me too. They try to pretend like all them skinny and fit. Like they walking around here muscle man. Man, that hot mess be behind that goddamn camera. But they love talking about somebody's body weight. Half of them sitting up there 300, 400 rotund pounds, okay? Rotund. They legs is scrubbing, their thighs are scrubbing at the meeting, okay? Let's stop. Some of these folks ain't seen their penis in I don't know how long. People are working from a deficiency. These bag men are carrying a lot of bags. And so he said, Gabe, you're not even Gabe, stop. You're not even 40. Wow, you are so see the maturity and the way you carry yourself. I assumed you was like approaching 40 or in your 40s. I assumed. Damn, Gabe, you on your shit. Damn. Wow. See, and then you're still younger than them, much younger than them. Because these dudes is 45, 50, and 60. And you're not even that age. So yeah, oh yeah, yeah. If they have any idea that you are younger than 40, you are just a walking insult to them. A complete walking insult. That's crazy. He said exactly. You rebel, Keisha. Keisha probably. Oh, yeah, Keisha can't stand me. They call me all kind of stuff. Oh, you just I done been called pick me. I'm like me? Ha, yeah, right. Ain't no damn pick me. I done been called pick me. I done been called Aunt Jemima, and I'm a mammy for black men and all kind of stuff. I'm this, I'm that. I done been called a lot of stuff. I don't pay them no mind. I don't pay them no mind, but I don't really be around black women empowerment stuff. I don't even know who those women are because I don't know. I guess okay. Lower your voice, May. Your voice is echoing. Lower your voice, girl. Um, I don't even go to BWE because I feel like that's silly. It's a form of cope. I need to go among women and I need to talk shit and figure out and get my self esteem up and talk shit on men because men, I'm struggling and they don't really want me and they're playing games and the same thing. You're not fresh. A lot of these motherfuckers is old. That's the point of my thumbnail. These are bag men. And it's not attractive. That's the part they don't see. You're a bag man. You're carrying all of them bags. Loneliness, brokenness, ghetto mentality, frustration, a history of losing, excuse making, lack of accountability, no actual relationship skills, no communication skills, emotionally unbalanced, emotionally immature, emotionally unintelligent. People who can't stay the course, people who can't endure any kind of adversity. They break down and they become emotional, right? All of that type of shit. He says they love speaking on. You said they love speaking on bodies. Faulkner is like 5 foot with no neck. He's literally built like a troll. Is Charles that short? I've been trying to figure him out. He looks so bulky. So I'm thinking he's like Shaquille O'Neal. You know, that's what I'm guessing. He is so bulky. And you know what? If he was short, that would make sense because it's easy to get bulky when you're short. I'm short, so I look much more bulky than I am. So that would make sense. I'm 5'3". Ooh, short. He's like 5'0". See, that's crazy. I was imagining he was like 6'7". I've been trying to figure out why his neck is so thick. I was like, God damn, he must be a giant. I can't help but noticing. I guess his AI video pictures and stuff, they don't help my imagination. I'm just like, yeah, I'm thinking Shaquille O'Neal. So he's a short dude. Okay. He said he's a cop. They love speaking on bodies. Yeah, that's speaking on bodies. That's part of the milk. You're not fresh anymore. And that's what these dudes is failing to realize. They just not marriage material. And a lot of them don't want to believe it, but if you say, okay, I'm a free agent lifestyle, I want to live my life free, I'm free flowing, wherever I go is where I am. I got some shit I might do, but I don't know if I will. I'll get there when I get there. I'm open. Okay? So I'm gonna just call that being a man who's open. You got some things you hope that may happen, but you're not pressed. You're going with the flow of life, right? That's a whole different attitude. I am where I am. When I get there, it's fine. That's a whole different attitude than a whole group that coalesce so they can collectively cope and cry and whine and make up lies so they can feel better just so they can get through the day. And their only like real world existence is in these spaces. Like it's a codependency. I need to listen to these people who are also suffering as deeply as I am. We can carry our bags together. We can all be spoiled milk together. It's like a spoiled milk meetup. That's what they are. They're a spoiled milk meetup. They do not want to believe that men can be unfresh. Oh, men can be unfresh. They told themselves that like men never hit the wall. Men are just getting their rhythm up in their 50s. That's a lie. Gabe is under 40 and he been had his shit up. Explain that. That's why Gabe is a walking insult to the manosphere. He is a walking, talking insult to the manosphere because everything they say, you look at Gabe, it's a lie. He's under 40. You got to wait till you get 50 and you get in your prime. Then you'll really have money. Well, how do you explain somebody who's established in their 30s, been established in their 20s? How do you explain that? How do you sell that lie? Gabe, you are a walking, talking insult. If you didn't know, now you know. You can tell by the behaviors and the way I don't talk to that nigga. Why not? This is the brother you actually would want to talk to, actually. If you think about it, we're talking about logic, right? And intelligence. Well, let's find the man who defies all odds. He's not alone. I'm surrounded by black men like that here in Atlanta. I respect Gabe because he can manage to be in this space of lost men. Well, not be in the space, but to enter that space and make himself known. He's not an anomaly. He's a man who put one foot in front of the other. He planned his life. He know what the fuck he is and who he's gonna be. So their only response, what I have seen, is they have to go into the tether thing, which is ridiculous. Which is ridiculous. The tether, the tether. That's why. No, he's black. He's a black American, born in America. Gabe, you're born in America with an American passport. One of your parents is from another country. You are brought up and raised in American culture. You're American. They have to go so far to try to discredit your accountability of who you are. They have to go so far. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. It's such a struggle. It's another bag. It's a bag they have to carry. And they gonna love to talk about intelligence and stuff like that. That's not intelligence. To tell somebody who is brought up, born and raised in America to at least one parent who is American, that's not intelligent. Who has an American passport and birth certificate. That's all you got? One parent is not from America, but they were born and raised and grew up in American culture. And so you're going to pull that out. Like, that's not logical. That's not even intelligent. It makes no logical sense. You know, it's just, they have to go so far. They have to go so far and get desperate to try to discredit you, Gabe. It's crazy. And the truth of the matter is, all them things they tell themselves are a lie. If I put, and this is partly why I'm doing this particular stream, because I saw that and I was like, they don't want nobody to hold a light to them. They don't want anybody to show them that they got a lot of baggage and that they got a lot of that they're spoiled. They're not fresh. They're not young, youthful, and productive. And that is the biggest problem. The baggage and the lack of freshness. That is the biggest problem. Let me read. As we age, we get more size as normal. As long as we're healthy, it's whatever. Right, right. He said, no, Charles is a short guy. Let me make sure I got it all. Okay, let me go back up. Oh, hey, what's up, V Dub? He said I thought Charles was a cop. I think he was a cop. I think he was a cop. He looks like the bouncers they be having out here at the clubs. He looked just like them. He says, yeah, I have to hide my age at work. I just got appointed into a global lead role within my firm, and other folks in that position are 20 years my senior. I let my grades grow out to seem older. Congratulations. I say, a global lead. Damn. Nice. I say. Yeah, man. I had problems on my job when I was first getting into teaching. I got into teaching at what I think I was 24. And those older women, they gave me a hard time. They did. I had to actually do a write up for harassment because they were me and this other chick. And this other chick, oh, she was too cute. She was younger than me, and she was too cute. And her little sassy dresses and shoes, oh, they was giving that chick a hard time. And they throw us together like, oh, the girls in their 20s, they're girls. They would call us girls. Excuse me, in a professional setting, do not call me a girl. So we had so many, like the language they would use. They would talk about us like we were a pair. And then they started saying something like they're all in the what do you call it, Divine Nine. They started this culture of hazing us. And you'll see that in Atlanta particularly, where you got a lot of AKAs or Deltas crowded together. They will think that on the job they can haze you, like put you through the fire. I'm not in your sorority. And I had to actually, yeah, I had to go to human resources because they were using that age thing. They were telling us that we were not established in the profession. And so they kept trying to treat us like we were incompetent. And I had to tell them old bitches, listen, they all went to Eddie Long's church too. All of them. I had to tell them old bitches. That's what I'm talking about. When motherfuckers don't be fresh, they jealous. When they not fresh, they jealous. These old bitches, and actually those old bitches are the age I am now. They were in their 40s and 50s. Them old bitches. I had to get them told one day. I said, I want to meet with y'all. Y'all want to pull me into fucking meetings. I want a meeting. Okay? I can play that game too. And I sat them bitches down in the meeting. I told them, I said, I want y'all to understand. I graduated from so and so, and I got a degree in so and so, and I know this and I know that. I got certification. I got hired. Bitch, my check is bigger than yours because I got more degrees. I'm going to need you to back up off me. All of y'all. All y'all old hoes. That's your warning shot. Next time, I'm taking y'all ass in to human resource. I gave him a warning before I did it. But I've been there. I know what that feels like. If people think that you're young, they want to try to discredit you. That's because you've accomplished more than they have. You got two young women walking in with master's degrees off the street, fresh. We was fresh. And these old, dried up, shriveled up, old bitches could not take two young women with youth and all of that, coming in competent. Let me say that, coming in competent. Newly trained. Bitch, you got your bachelor's degree back in 1960. I wasn't even born. Get off my back. I know something about that. I feel you. Yeah, don't let them know how old you are, Gabe. If they can't tell, fuck it. Don't tell them. Yeah, as long as we're healthy. Let me read. May, I've never been to Nigeria, and my family hasn't really been an influence in my life. I'm African American with a Nigerian last name. Right. Gabe, I can I can clearly see that. Now, I ain't gonna say that the ambition that you have is Nigerian. I just think highly of Nigerians. So I always see them as highly ambitious people. But you could, of course, be American and be ambitious as well. My Nigerian father hasn't really had an influence in my life. Okay. Uh-oh, I dropped my earplug. And then you said, my wife is African American too. Your point is, right? Everything about you is African American. Everything. So where's all this tether talk coming from? It's just an excuse. It's another way to write you off. It's another way to deny the greatness. That's all. They desperate. They absolutely need to believe that something's so different from them that it's not possible. It's not possible to be a young black man and have it all. To have the wife, the home, the kids, to have the career, the education, to be well spoken, to be intelligent, to be respected, to be a leader. You just can't do it. It's not possible. Get out of here, Gabe. You're ruining the narrative. I get it. I fucking get it. You ruin the narrative. And he says, oh, yeah, these Divine Nine folk. My older brother is part of the Omega Sci-Fi. Yeah, my husband's father he's a lifelong Omega. And he's in his, what, 60s, 70s? He's really into that shit. He don't miss no events. He travels across the United States. You know, I guess you would say his dad is a bourgeoisie. He's a bourgeoisie. He's deep into it. They be going to each other's funerals because they so old now. But they've been line brothers for shit 50 fucking years. Like it's an institution he's dedicated to. My father-in-law, he um he retired from a HBCU as an administrator. My husband's father. So yeah, he's got plenty of time now. But he get in that goddamn Lexus and he be trekking all across America, going to Omega Sci-Fi. And I used to get so excited when I was young, when I used to see the Omega Sci-Fi. Ooh, boy, I used to get so excited because them brothers was wild. Omega Sci-Fi, yeah, yeah, yeah. Them Q dogs, them Q dogs. Q dogs is something else, boy. You see a Q dog, you done met something different. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. And he says, I was on the line in college for Kappa Alpha Psi, but didn't finish because I wasn't going to put my grades on the back burner. Yeah, that sounds about right, Gabe. That sounds like something you do. You put your future before the present. I admire that. But lastly, I'm thing I'm saying about you, Gabe, is these niggas can say whatever they want to say about any aspect of you. I bet, I'm just saying, if I put a Gabe profile up against any of their profiles, the women get to choose. I'm just saying if he wasn't married. If he wasn't married. Put that profile, the gay profile, all the details, the accomplishments and all that shit. Put that on paper, on a profile, and then you put any of theirs up to it. And women don't know nothing, and they just come and look at the profile. It's already clear. It's already clear the choice to be made. That's my point. You can't let people, I know you don't. You can't let, I would say this for other people who look on. Y'all who are looking on to these situations, do not be fooled. Do not be fooled. These men are operating in insecurity because they're not fresh. They spoil milk. They spoil milk. And, the man who shall not be named, he could actually take and harness that energy towards something nice. And that's what I've been telling him. You could redirect that energy, but you choose not to. Instead of being a healer, you just take them into these loops and cycles of unfreshness. That's what I'm going to call it because it's nothing else but unfresh. It's unyouthful. It's unyouthful. He's taking them into a swamp of spoiled milk. And that's what BGS is. He is the keeper of the unspoiled milk swamp. I mean, the spoiled milk swamp. He is the keeper. Y'all know how you have like a what is it? Poseidon, right? The god, the lord of the underworld, the watery underworld. That is what BGS does. He keeps cycling and looping these men into the swamp of spoiled milk. He's the god of spoiled milk. God damn. Anybody with eyes can see that. You just keep looping people into narratives that keep them stuck. When do you actually ever graduate? You don't. And that's what makes the underworld so bad. You never can escape. Your soul is trapped. You will be spoiled milk forever. And you only stink more. It's crazy. He says everything about me. Oh, that's what I was gonna say, the Kappa Alpha Psi. Kappa, Kappa, Kappa. I think I'm familiar with Kappa. Kappa is white and red color, right? Those are the those are the if I'm not mistaken. I didn't go to HBCU, forgive me. And I know less about the men. I don't even know about the Q dolls. 'Cause I always like watching the Q dolls. They're wild, boy. Um, my friend dated a Kappa. I believe that's the white and red. Those brothers tended to be because he had a lot of them around him. He's a Kappa. He currently works at the CDC. He got his PhD about 10 years ago while he was in his late 30s. And if I remember correctly, his whole crowd, because a lot of them hang around each other, the Kappas, yeah, they was some bougie brothers, real who's who types. That's what I remember, but I can't judge Kappas by that particular dude. He led with his accolades, I should say. Everything about me, indeed. I marched in high school. I marched in high stepping black marching bands. Been to a bunch of HBCU homecomings. Held leadership roles in the National Society of Black Engineers and live in Detroit. I say, how I know, Gabe, right? I know. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the same thing with Kamala Harris. I, she, but my friend Angela actually went to Howard, and they were friends. They were both AKAs. They were actually on the same line together. My friend Angela, and all of them, stereotypically, Angela's probably like she's Kamala's age. And yeah, stereotypically during that time, yeah, AKAs was light skinned. So yes, Kamala has the HBC. She went to Howard University. How blackety black can you fucking be? She's a fucking AKA. She actually, my friend Angela and her were line sisters. You know, they went did policy. They studied policy together. And then she was telling me a story about how there was a winter storm or something, and her and Kamala and two other of their AKA sisters, they were kind of like supposed to take the last flights out, and they ended up spending Thanksgiving together, microwaving a bunch of noodles and shit. You know, Kamala's a real person, and she is black. She has an Indian mother. Okay, fuck it. The woman is black. Her culture is black. But they looking for any excuse to discredit this woman. She grew up in America. She has an American passport. This is what they do. And so it's sad that people can't just bring who they truly are because people are looking for an excuse to discredit you. A person should be able to say proudly, yes, my parent or my so and so is from this country. But once you do that, now it's almost like they take that when it's look, when it's convenient. Now had she made it, then all of a sudden it'd be our first black female president. That would have been the new narrative. But you know what? You can't win with people. People are jealous. People are just jealous. They're fucking jealous. You can't win with these people. But I agree. How much more of the black experience do they need me to have? How the fuck do you get an official fucking black card? Who's the decider of that, right? I'm black, but I grew up in a very white area. And I still do. I prefer and love rock and roll, a lot of white music. I have a lot of white culture. It's not intentional. It's just where I grew up. And thank God I moved to Atlanta because I had to learn and I had to pick and choose what kind of black experience do I actually want to have? What kind of black experience do I want to have? I don't want a white experience. I'm over that shit. I'm trying to reprogram and deprogram some things. But what black experience do I want to have now that I can choose where I live? I had to make a decision. I had to decipher what is really black. I literally had to do that. All that degeneracy and that crazy culture and other shit, I knew. I'm like, I'm not defining that as black. I'm rejecting that. That's poverty. And that's how I do. I write it off as poverty. It's poverty culture. It's poverty culture. It's clear. And I think it's sad that these spoiled milk brothers do not recognize that that is not mainstream black culture. You can't see anything else because you're surrounded by the ghetto. You're surrounded by the poverty. So yes, you think that's the norm. It's not. It's not. Unfortunately. Yeah, Kappas were the pretty boy. Yes, and ladies man. Yes, Kevin Samuels was a Kappa. Okay, yeah, that's the impression I got. I know different people are attracted to different divine nines based on that. I went to historically white colleges, so I didn't never get an opportunity. I think if anything, if I was going to pledge, I would have pledged as a Delta. Delta seems to be like kind of down to earth, superpower sisters, community oriented. I think I would have been a Delta. I think I would have been a Delta. Um, all of my friends that are AKAs, they get on my actual nerves. I'll be honest with you. If I have to, cast them and type them into a type, they get on my nerves. Like Angela, when we go to a restaurant, she's always finding something wrong. I know one time we went to Ted's Montana Grill, and I was just like, I can't fucking take it. I cannot fucking take it. She is so difficult to dine with. It's always something with her. I don't care how nice the restaurant. It's always something where, and I'll be like, you will ruin a whole fucking meal because you are. She wants to order these big ass steaks, and then she's like really particular. She wants this little thin line of what do you call it? Like raw in the middle. I don't know what that. See, she got white culture despite her being a very black woman. She's got white culture. That's one thing white people do. But that's you know what? She's pale too. She's pale, so it might be well earned. But that's not something black people do. We don't eat blood in our food like our meat. And she wants this thin line of raw beef in the middle of the outside being browned or whatever. I don't know what the fuck you call that because I don't get into steak culture. I eat steak, but all I ever know is well done. I don't give a fuck about all that other shit. And I think you're a rascal and a weirdo if you got blood in your plate when you get done eating. Something's wrong with you. Okay, that's nasty. That's white folks. White folks do nasty shit like that. But Angela was in with me at the Ted's Montana Grill, and she proceeds to send it back. And I'm just looking at her like, damn, bitch, really? Because whatever she described it to him as, she said it wasn't that. He brings another one. She sends it back. He brings another one. And she tells him, well, I don't really, it's not really right, but I'll just deal with it. I was just like, oh my God. So needless to say, unless we're going to have tacos, that's the only thing I realize I can eat with her is tacos. We can go to a taco spot. But outside of that, she gonna find something wrong with the food. So anyway, the AKA women I have found that I know they get on my fucking nerves. Okay. They got all these little pet peeves and shit. So I think I would have been a Delta. That's my point. If that's that long ass story. Let me see. Exactly. Kamala is as black as it gets. Right. I never understood this is she black argument. Right. They did it to Obama too. You know, you can't have any mixture. Then everybody want to be Tariq Nasheed all of a sudden. But they always use that to discredit you. If you're biracial, they use it to discredit you. Either way, you're either too white, you're too black, you're too Nigerian, you're too African American. They use it as a way to discredit. And it's because anytime a person is ambitious, people are looking for ways to discredit you. Why? Because they're jealous. Why? Because they're not fresh. They're spoiled. And this is a group of spoiled dudes. They're spoiled milk. And they don't, their narrative says, oh, you get better with age as a man. You get more money. Y'all are at that age and y'all don't have more money. That's a lie. Money comes when your ambition meets money. That's what happens. That can be 20s. That can be in your teens. That can be 30. That could be 40. Like Berkshire. What's his name? I don't know. Berkshire. I forget his name. Wealthy dude. Old ass motherfucker. Driving cabs, being mediocre his whole life. He decided to be brilliant in his fucking 60s. He's the leader of Berkshire Hathaway. Forgot his name. But any age, wealth meets you when your ambition meets wealth. That's it. Stability meets you where you meet stability. That is a fucking choice. This idea that age is waiting on you. No. Who gives a fuck about them charts? That's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. You can get off the treadmill at any time. You can stay on the treadmill as long as you want to. But the being on the treadmill, this idea, the longer you're on the treadmill, the more wealthy you'll get later. Make it make sense. It's not even a logical argument. That doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, I don't know how to square that circle. I don't know how. Telling people that magically by the time they're 40, 50, that they will somehow, they'll, just by the nature of being that age, you'll be more stable. No, you can be stable at fucking 20. You can be stable anytime your ambition follows you or leads you into stability. And that's why I believe in the power of manifestation. Where your mind is, reality will follow. Time, space, and age don't got shit to do with none of that. But these are the arguments of spoiled milk. These are the arguments of spoiled milk. So let me get to the topic. I was embarrassed for them, trying to pile in on Gabe. I was embarrassed for them. I was like, you have men who are unaccomplished, literally in a so-called black male space, trying to talk shit about the black man who has and is everything you want to be and have. How is that intelligent and how is that logical? Make that make sense. These are the people you might actually want to listen to. Seriously. How did you plan your life, brother? What advice would you give me? What did you do differently than I have done? Can you tell me? Can you give me some advice? I'm just saying. And I grew up in a space of mentorship and shadowing and networking. I've been taught that my whole life. Learn and be humble from people who are where you want to be, you know. So that means that with 11 or 12 years old, I was very interested in law. So my mother handed me over to my aunt, and my aunt handed me over to a law firm. There were black politicians there. It was an internship. I'm trying to remember Push Coalition. I don't think it exists anymore, but something Push Coalition. They had law offices. And I, at the age of 11 and 12, was given to these lawyers, these black lawyers, men and women. I was told she needs to see what you guys do. I was told, go on in there, they got you. At 11 and 12, I was raised around black greatness, seeing amazing black men. It was a black man leading that law firm, the Push Coalition. I can't remember. I saw black professionals, you know. I grew up that way, networking, shadowing people. And people talk about pull people up by the bootstraps. These Negroes don't have an idea of what pull people up by their bootstraps. That starts young. Reaching back, that starts at that age. That is our form of reaching back. The black middle class, we do shadowing, we do networking, right? I have a brother who's very, very accomplished. Sometimes I think I have shown his picture. He's a golfer. He's amazing. He inherited commercial real estate here in Atlanta. He's a business owner, very respected in the community. And I told him, you know, because I was delivering, he has a church, his father passed down to him. I deal with people who have multi-generational. I'm just telling y'all, that's just my sphere. People who have multi-generational middle class status, okay, solid middle class, multi-generational, not new, not confused, not pretending, not cosplaying. They have their father's father's father who gives them things, right? So he inherited a church from his father. And I'm not sure if the father before that, if this church had anything, church bought and paid for. So he would call me and say, I got an event. Every time he got an event at church, he would call me. And so naturally, I'm, you know, whatever he needs, you need chairs, you need tents, you need tables. Again, this is black networking. It's what we do naturally. We're on code. So he told me one day, you know, put me to the side. I want my son to see the value of hard work. And he didn't, you know, in his mind, he was looking at it like this is a black business, you know. And he told me, he said, work him hard. He was trying to teach his son a lesson because his son is growing up in the lap of luxury. And I've seen him on social media with his son at the Home Depot or Lowe's. And he'll stand there like a drill sergeant. His son is picking up these bags, loading all these bags into the truck, working like a slave. He really wanted his son to understand because he would never authentically have to work like that. But he wanted him to know what it was to sweat, to have a boss. He's not raising his son to have a boss, trust me. But he wanted him to have the experiences so he can relate to everyday people. You know, the way his daddy got him, gonna have him set up. And he's a young man already. He's probably about 20. He's about 20. But yeah, he gave him to me for like a couple of summers, in the summertime to work for us, you know. And one of the things I had to teach him as part of the process was that he's generation alpha, I guess. I had to teach him that you have to be able to communicate with other people. Because these young folks, they like to put earplugs in both of their ears and they zone out to the world. And when you're talking to them, they don't hear anything because everything is on the internet, the music. And so that was one of the things I had to tell them, hey, you're going to work here. You got to be able to be communicative. You got to take the earplugs out. You got to let the music go. Focus and focus and focus. And so that was the lesson. He gave his son to us to have an experience specifically. And that's what I'm saying. These networking and these shadowing and all those things, black middle class, we've been doing that shit. That's the hand up, giving you lessons along the way, making sure that you learn something. And so what did I learn from that law firm that I was given? I was given to this law firm. What did I learn? I learned professionalism. That's what I learned. That was my first chance to see professionalism. And so when people would come in, one of the things they asked me to do, they trained me how to greet people and how to give them paperwork and tell them that somebody would be there with them for a moment. Basically, I was like a concierge, among other things, but that was my daily duty to greet people, ask who they are, and then make the phone call and say, oh, so and so is here, that type of stuff. I learned professionalism. So that's my point. The black middle class, um, we help each other with our youth. We help each other by shadowing. We help each other by networking. We're not dealing with, man, my shit bad, I'm lost, I'm grown as fuck, and I need help because I don't know what to do, I done fucked up. That's not how the black middle class reaches back. Because I keep hearing these conversations like shitting on so-called boule. They just like the white folks, they like the white supremacists. That's a lie. The middle class or elite blacks do not reach back the way you do. That's all. It's a different world. What do you not understand? I get tired. I get tired of hearing these misunderstandings. They don't reach back. They don't care about anybody. That's not true. The reach back looks different than you. That's all. What y'all want them to do is go get some pots and some soup and go to the hood and put on display for all the world to see. It don't work like that. That's not what black middle class does to reach back. It's not. What's up, young Riaz? What's up? But on my topic, marriage. So yeah, they do a lot of shitting on the boule and the black middle class. They do it in the professional class. They do a lot of AB media has some old bullshit ass strain, you know, trying to drag the boule, the black middle class. Bullshit. It's just bullshit. It's bullshit. And there is gatekeeping. I'm sorry. Now, in the case of Angela Rye, that bitch ain't boule anyway. So you got them naming folks as boule. Anybody who's got a damn degree is boule. Bullshit. Bullshit. You can't even characterize and categorize these people correctly. They wear a suit, they boule. You do not know what boule is. You do not understand what the black middle class is or the mentality. These folks only understand poverty culture. That's the only thing they understand. If you're not exactly poverty culture, then all of a sudden, oh, you're boule. Bullshit. Angela Rye is a broadcaster, or was, on urban radio. Something about her can actually relate to the hood. I'm just saying, culturally, the bitch is hood. Okay, you take my lame ass and put me on Breakfast Club. I have a journalism and a little bit of broadcast experience. I did broadcast radio a little bit, just a little bit. I didn't go to school for broadcast journalism, but I did some broadcast journalism. I mostly did print journalism, but I have the background in that. And that's another thing. My aunt, she hooked me up with a radio station. And I'm not going to lie, it did not go well. That is not my talent and my gift. The guy said, I'll bring you on. My aunt was like, just explore this, you know? And he brought me on maybe like 3 sessions. He said, we'll just let you be a guest and then we'll see how it works. Looking for a co host. I was way too young. He was in his like fucking 50s. Why would you even ask like, 20 something year old chick to do that? Why? I don't know. I don't know. That's when I was working on I think I was working my master's degree in. Yeah, I was working on my master's degree in. But it was an opportunity. As I'm saying, I have had so many opportunities. People and family members who network and hook me up to say, what do you want to do? And my aunt is the one. I'm just being honest with you. My aunt is the one. She is the one who knows everybody. She is a networked person. She's into government. Over at University of Georgia, she's a professor. She was a professor at University of Georgia. She does. She has more degrees than me until I start talking freely that I fucking remember all these things I've been given. It's part of the privilege. And you don't know that when you don't know when you're growing up that this is not necessarily the fucking norm for everybody. You don't know that. You find that out later on. You talk to people. You didn't have an internship. You didn't do so and so. Oh, okay, okay. When I see people that are kind of low, that's you didn't do it. You didn't. Nobody in your family got you. No. Oh, okay. And then I learned that like don't say shit like that because then you start making people feel some kind of way. Don't ask people about because you point out what they didn't have. Don't do that. I learned. It took me time. Because then they feel like you throwing up some kind of, I did it and you did. Nah, motherfucker, I'm trying to figure out why you don't have access. I'm trying to figure out why you didn't just go and, you see? So you have to be careful when you're talking to people because they can take offense to that. Ambassador 750. The Boule does deserve criticism, primarily for their assimilation, elitist, and gatekeeping views. I mean, I think that's fair. Talking loud again. God damn, man, your voice is just ricocheting. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Um, the gatekeeping is necessary, though. Have you ever heard, Ambassador? Oh, Gabe, you ain't missed nothing. I'm just rambling. I'm just rambling. At this point, I'm talking about the boule. I'm talking about the boule and the black middle class and how it's just like a natural thing that, within the middle class culture, we look for opportunities for our children. And we do give a hand, because AB Media was trying to criticize the Black Boule as well as with the Boule and the middle class and say that, they're self-serving and everything. But most importantly, he was labeling all these people who were not uh, Boule or Black middle class. Mislabeling is pathetic. It's pathetic. He doesn't know what he's talking about. They think anybody who puts on a suit and can speak standard English is fucking boule, which is bullshit. It's bullshit. But my point was this. My point was this. Angela Rye is totally hood. I don't know why he would think she's just because people go to college for 4 years. Anybody can get a student loan and go to school for 4 years and get a fucking degree. A degree does not make you boule. Does not make you black middle class. It doesn't make you middle class mentality. It doesn't make you elite. I don't know where they get this from. And we already know like a paycheck. What's that guy? The gay guy. Um, oh shit. He dressed like Satan and he was walking down the street naked and he had some country song. So that's what I'm saying. I don't even keep up with these people and this shit. I don't know nothing about it. But anyway, he's a gay guy who's so-called in hip hop, and he was doing a video where he was uh what you call it um giving a lap dance to the devil and that type of shit. He is got a mother who's a crackhead, okay, and his whole family comes from poverty and degeneracy. But you got black people who will say, "Ooh, he's got money. He's black elite. He's boule." He is not. That's a nigga from the hood who made a couple songs, and he got some money in his bank account now because the Jewish people gave it to him. Y'all got to figure out what boule is and what it ain't. Y'all got to figure out what black middle class is and what it ain't. And the most important thing is multi generational. Multi generational. These people are doing what they've been doing multi generationally. That is one of the key signature points. It's not people who are new. It's not money. It's not education. They maintain middle class status by any means necessary, and they pass that same middle class status down generationally. That is the fucking difference. These be some hood ass people who went and got a degree, or some hood ass people who wrote a good rap song, or did something. A OnlyFans bitch with some money. That's not fucking middle class. That's not boule. What are y'all doing? What are you saying? Are you crazy? Y'all need to figure what the fuck you talking out about. You need to figure it out first before you start speaking. That's bad, AB. That's fucking bad. But Angela Rye, she's hood. What are you talking about? She's hood with a damn degree. And that's what I was gonna make my point. If I tried to go on to I didn't even I'm supposed to be doing so I can never just focus and I'm supposed to be doing so much in here. I'm just sitting here talking. I ain't got nothing done. So I'm gonna end the stream because I actually gotta be productive. If I'm gonna be on the internet, I gotta be productive. And I'm not productive right now. Um because I guess I'm really deep into my thoughts. But I'm gonna get to my main point. I'm gonna say that, and then I'm gonna close my stream out. But Angela Rye was on the Breakfast Club. My point was, I am Tulane, okay? Despite having the education and background and the ability to learn and do an internship in broadcast journalism if I wanted to, I would never make it a day on the Breakfast Club. You know why? Because I don't have an urban culture, number one. Number two, I'm not familiar and comfortable completely with black music culture. They know all these hip hop artists and they love that music. They got a ear to the streets and all this other stuff. I don't necessarily have the lingo. People would be like, that bitch is corny. And what you hear today has been a lot of work, baby. Trust me. My inflections, the tones, that's a lot of work I have done over the years, being in Black Atlanta, deprogramming for 20 years. But I still, whatever people call urban and, this person's hip, they own it, they this, that. I don't have that naturally. And then on top of that, I'm older now. So I clearly am out of touch with young people. But my point is, she can come into an urban radio station because she's a hood. So how, AB? She's got her ear to the street. She's in the mix, you know? She's a city person. She's a hood person. This is why she's in urban radio. So how are you gonna say Angela Rye is boule? Are you serious? Did you think about that? The bitch is hood with a degree. Y'all gotta redefine some shit. Y'all gotta really work harder. Cause y'all just be making up shit and it don't make sense if you actually pull that apart logically. But back to what Ambassador was saying, um, what criticism? Because they don't want to reach to people who not gonna reach back out. Have you ever put your hand out to help somebody and they bite it? That's gatekeeping for a reason. You don't pour pearls to swine. You don't send a young person into an internship who's gonna fuck it up, right? Think about this. Just use this example. There is gatekeeping. Those people knew that when my aunt handed me over to them, right? You talking about a young girl. You see the trust levels, the decency. They handed a young girl over for caretakership caretaking for an internship. You understand? Nobody was babysitting me. They wanted me to learn something at a young age, 11, 12 years old. They wanted me to learn something. I'm handed over to some young black professionals to be trusted. You understand? It's a give and take. Nobody took advantage of me. Nobody misused me. The respect level. You understand? That's why there's gatekeeping. Do you know how much damage could be done if you don't have gatekeeping? You hand a young, vulnerable girl, 11, 12 years old, over to a law firm where there are both men and women, but lots of men, and people are not professional. People are not gate kept. You understand? And she's there for hours and hours and hours at a time for a whole summer, daily. Easy access. I'm just throwing that out there. This is why gatekeeping is necessary. We can't have internships if people are not proper and gate kept, if we don't have standards. That pastor was handing his son over to me and my husband. You understand the gatekeeping is necessary? We did not take advantage of that young man. We found teachable moments. We understood his dad's plan for him. We understood the goal and we took it on. We accepted it. This is how we pass down the knowledge. You hand your young people over to people who are respectful, who have something to offer them, a lesson to learn. And those people in turn understand they're contributing to the next generation. We're giving them the character, the traits, and all the things they need to go forth and become better people, to develop into what the next generation needs to be. We understand we are creating leaders when we do this work, when we take on the task. They knew that when they handed me over, that the little girl that was being sent to that law office to do work was going to be respectful to her elders. She was going to listen. She was going to be humble. She was going to follow instructions. She was going to do everything she was sent to do. She is on a mission. They're on a mission. It's a collective mission. This serves why the gatekeeping must exist. This is why. So this critique of the black bourgeoisie, the middle class, oh, they don't care about anybody. They don't reach back. They're gatekeeping. You have to gatekeep. We can pass our children over for internships and shadowing opportunities because we're on code. We all have something to lose. We all have professional licenses. You understand? We have reputations to upkeep. We can't just be out here any kind of way. We can't just do any old fucking thing. We represent organizations. We represent boards. We represent leadership. We have public, outward facing reputations. I'm not speaking on me. I'm talking about the middle class, the boule. I don't consider myself boule. I have elements of my family that are, but I don't claim them because they pale as fuck. I'm just being honest. This is why the gatekeeping exists. Y'all talk too much and you don't know enough. There is reaching back. There is support. Come on, man. You said I have the ability. Gabe says, I have the ability to hire interns now within my firm. You think I'm looking for black men in this space? You see what I'm talking about? That's exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. There is gatekeeping. It must be. You don't bring people forth who will embarrass you. You don't bring forth people. It is understood that when you bring forth people, when you present people, and that's the world we live in, there is a presentation of opportunities to the worthy. That's just reality. And if you're not worthy, you never find out. So a lot of stuff that y'all don't know about is because you don't have access. That's all I can tell you, don't have access. And so you think that the world works a certain way. You don't have access to the backside. You know what I mean? Like you have a website, but you got a backside of the website. Yeah, I forgot what they call. I forgot what they call it. The inner workings. You don't have access. So you can only see things from one direction. But please do not, AB, keep assigning bourgeoisie and black elite. Don't assign everybody who speaks standard English. They have a bachelor's degree. They got a couple of thousand in the bank account. People know their name. That doesn't make them boule. That does not make them middle class. That does not make them elite. Please stop. That doesn't make them the educated professional class. That does not make them the talented 10. I need you to do a better job of defining and understanding, AB, what boule and black middle class, the culture, and what defines them. I need you to do that. I'm going to need you to do that. Okay? And most of the time, you will find that generationally, they're all highly educated. Most of the time, that's what you'll find. So if you go and just do a basic Wikipedia search on that person, and they tell you, like for example, with you said Stephen A. Smith, I can't come up there and talk to y'all because all y'all want to do is yell on May. Y'all want to yell and scream and shit and talk crazy to me while I'm thinking. But if you said Stephen A. Smith, first of all, his parents were immigrants. So that already eliminates him from being black bourgeoisie. I think they came from Jamaica or something. They came as immigrants to do hard labor in America, both of his parents. That would mean he's not boule. He's actually, he's not, clearly. His parents none were educated. Neither one of his mom or his dad. Matter of fact, his mom didn't even work. There's no work history for her. They're not boule. The dad, it said that Stephen A. Smith's father, he basically worked at an Ace Hardware doing stock work. Please, AB, explain to me how an immigrant from the third world who has come to the United States, they live in Hollis, the Bronx, in the hood. That's where he's from. And the father is a stock worker. Explain to me how that's boule. Father ain't got no education, no profession, no connections, no network, no accomplishments. Father don't. And you assigning Boulay to Stephen A. Smith? Why? Because he's on fucking TV? Does that make you Boulay? Being on TV? Having a loud mouth on the radio? I'm just saying, what makes y'all gotta do better, man. They kill me. They love. Oh, you're so stupid. You're so dumb, man. I know y'all. I I don't pay that shit no attention. I don't pay that shit not no mind. Y'all can come up with 1,000 different ways to call me dumb. All I can say is my papers speak. I'm not concerned about what y'all do and what y'all little schemes y'all try to make. You just don't understand. You can't understand. You're not listening with your ears. You can say whatever you want to say. I ignore all that shit. I know that I speak from a place of intelligence, understanding, and experience. Something you guys don't have. I've been able to be on both sides of the line. You understand? I got more experiences than most of y'all dudes. Y'all was spoiled milk. Y'all was spoiled milk. Y'all are a swamp of spoiled milk. And BGS is the leader of the underworld. I actually had some hope. I did. I had some hope that BGS, the man who will not be named, since we playing that game, I had some hope for the brother. But I was so sorely disappointed last night. He went right on back down into the underworld. He can't stay out of the underworld. He sat there and told all them men. And then Charles was like, what did Charles say? Charles was like, I'm still dating black women. I was like, oh my fucking God, what are you guys looping for? Why are you looping? Why the fuck are you looping? Black women are the least desired. Y'all just went through a whole fucking chart. I'm yelling again. My mouth has gotten so loud. I don't know if it's the teacher in me or if it's the passion. My voice will be right here and then I get loud. And my voice is echoing. It's too loud. Okay, let me go back down. Charles Faulkner, Mongo, as he's called. I don't even know what that means. But he, Mr. Cigars, Mr. Baltimore, right? These characters, these people are a trip. He and BGS, the man who will not be named, and the rest of them, they proceed to pull out charts and show using dating apps. I don't want to point it out, but I got to point it out. Using dating apps as data, there's a lot of lack of reliability. Uh, that's not going to work. There's too many. What's the word? Too many not variations. Too many variables that you cannot use that as a source. It doesn't work. So dating apps, you got people that are lying, people who are playing. There are people who will say they're Asian, catfishing. You can't know who people are, and it's been a fact that you have men who will pretend to be women because they want to have interactions with men. I mean, nothing is data on fucking dating app. Okay, you got people who have multiple profiles. They might try to look at being different races, different ages. You cannot use data from. Anyway, that's too much like common sense and intelligence to bring that up. That dating app data and dating apps actually probably lie. You know, it's in their best interest to market. To lie, but they use this evidence to say that um, black women are the least desired. Your explanation for black women being the least desired is because the dating app data says so. Okay, all right. Faulty, but we'll go with that. So they proceed to show that after white men, black men are the most desired based on the data of the dating app. And then BGS, the man who shall not be named, he proceeds to show and give evidence of all the reasons why black women, which is what he's been doing, that's his mission in life. This loop. I love you, I love you, I love you, but I still hate you, hate you, hate you. That's when you spoil milk. That's the type of shit you do when you spoil milk, when you ain't fresh no more. This is what you do. You loop. Spoiled milk loops, okay? So he proceeds to tell them all the reasons. Get your passport. He does all of this shit. Then he loops them right back into, but they still want black women. So we got to keep going and doing it. The table. We got to get back to the table. Are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? Because I was totally like, when I'm listening, I'm like, okay, so the only conclusion that we can get to after all of this, because y'all are the elite men, y'all are the most desirable men, y'all are high value men. So the only conclusion that you can draw is that you need to either get you an Asian, which is the most high value desired woman, or the white woman based on the app data, right? Because we smart and we logical. So we are up here, high desirable. Now see, make it make sense. Then if you so highly desirable, then why don't you have that already? Why are you here in the swamp of spoiled milk? I'm just asking. We don't forget that. But you should naturally want to or already be paired with a white woman or Asian woman because you the most highly desired and they're highly desired. So y'all tell me who's intelligent and who's not. So let me get this straight. Y'all are high value, most desirable because you black males, but somehow you not smart enough based on your idea of what smart is to go get your equal. So you're choosing to still want the least desired woman, which is the black woman. But y'all are smarter than me. Okay. All right. Y'all make that make sense. Make that logically make sense. Y'all all so smart. They just come on the internet lying. It don't even matter. It don't even matter. He said AB doesn't have access and feels excluded. Absolutely. He don't have access. You can't expect people to speak on stuff they don't know about. And that's why you be entertained and you just laugh. The black middle class doesn't reach back. The boule doesn't care. They gatekeep. Well, first of all, you don't know who they are. You can't define what they are. And you don't know what they do because you don't have access. So you just guessing from the outside. You looking through the window. All right. Stephen A is boule because he has more than these guys. Gabe! He said he has more than these guys. They ignore his credentials, work ethic, progression and just see the results. They don't see the path. You said it well, the path. The path. That's kind of what I've been saying. There's a path. I'm gonna use that. I'm stealing that from you, Gabe. You can identify the black middle class, the boule, the elite. They're all different now. They ain't the same, but they have the same mentality, very similar. Okay, you can identify them by the path. I'm gonna steal that. Thank you, Gabe. Brilliant, as usual. There's a path. So let me use this analogy of the path. There are particular experiences and things you will see along the path. The path is not available for all to follow down the path. Only certain people have access to certain paths. In addition to that, the path that you go down is likely the path that your forefathers have also traveled down. You have similar things you've seen, experienced, and had access to on the path. Your grandfather walked that path. Your father walked that path, and you will walk that path, and your children will walk that path. That is the difference. That makes the difference. The path. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. This might help them make a discernment or have a level of discernment when it comes to deciding who is middle class, professional class, black boule, or black elite. They have a path. Okay, it's a path. And if your mama didn't go down that path, if you out here cutting, if you out here chopping trees and shit, trying to create a way through the wilderness, you are not any of those. Okay, a lot of people that you see were good at chopping and taking down trees and bushes, and that's how come they've created a path for themselves. We call that self-made. Okay, so that's a good way. I love that. I love that. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna work on that analogy because I think it's something that needs to be worked into the conversation. You need to create pathways for your children if you didn't have paths, right? And white people know about paths. A lot of them do. Well, middle class and above, they know about paths. That's what they focus on is a fucking path. And a lot of them, path includes marriage. You're not getting out of that. So that tells you a lot too, because a lot of the people that BGS, the man who will not be named, he's trying to program these men out of marriage. I heard him do that last night. And see, you would never be able to do that. You can't program middle class, boule, or elite out of marriage. You can't do it. Can't fucking do it because it's a path. Their forefathers have gone down that same path. Marriage was one of the stops on the path. You understand? That's part of the process. You're not getting out of that. You're not getting out of that. You can't undo that. People who are established and they see I know where my father got and I want to get where he got. I'm going down the same path he went down. And mind you, along the way, your father's down the end of the path waving, come on, baby. Come the same way I'm coming. Your mama standing out there waving her hand. Come on down the path, baby. Come on. You see her fingers moving. Come on. This is where we going. Come on. We going down this road. Don't deter. Don't stop. Don't come straight. Just come on this way. And this is why generationally, you're not going to talk nobody from the black middle class, boule, or elite out of marriage. You're not going to do it. They'll tell you to go fuck yourself. I want anybody who disagrees with what I'm saying about talking out of marriage. It is a culture. It is necessary, and all that bullshit they saying. Oh, it's slavery. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. You're not on the path. You're a lost man. Of course, everything looks dumb to you. Of course. You're in no man's land. You're lost. You're in Wonderland. You don't have a path. You don't have a direction that you're going. You're lost. So everything is an excuse. Everything's a reason. Nothing's right with the world. Everything's wrong. Everything is to be suspicious. Everything's a problem when you're lost. But when you got a path, a well traveled path, the lineage of you has been down the path, there's no confusion at all. There's only one direction of movement, just one, straightforward, no stop. So think about that. Think about who you're listening to and the people who listen to it. You can't deprogram people who are clear out of marriage. It's an institution, it has a purpose. You can't do it. You can't fucking do it. If you have any doubts of what I'm saying, please, the coach Greg Adams, he talks about particularly white elite, white middle class, white professional class. He explains that marriage is for I think I'm not sure if the word is elite or I put it in my what you call it. Marriage is for it's not elite. He didn't say elite. He had another word, affluent. Marriage is for the affluent. Please check out that video. Okay, let me read these comments. Um, yeah, Stephen A. Smith is so far from bootleg. That dude is just he's a child of immigrants from Queens. I don't even know if I've been to Hollis. Did I go to the Bronx? Did I go to the Bronx? I went to the Bronx, but I don't remember going to a place called Hollis. I've been to Queens. I like Queens. There are a lot of Indian people there. When I went, I saw lots of Indian people. I go to New York, but I go to certain different places for different stuff. And so I don't necessarily, have familiarity in each and every neighborhood. I've been to Brooklyn quite a lot. Brooklyn and Manhattan, those are the places I probably know best. I love Broadway. And I actually, matter of fact, I think next week I'm going to jump on a plane and go to New York. I found this Nigerian restaurant that I want to try. West African. I think it's at West African Fusion. It's located in New York City. I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go. I want to try it out. Our West African food here. I've tried it. I've been to all these restaurants. Man, that shit is not impressing me. So I just started cooking my own. But that New York one, boy, that shit was looking good. And maybe it's all marketing, right? It could just be marketing. The marketing was so fucking smooth. I was like, I'm about to get on the plane, go get this shit, and I will. Anyway, let me read this comment. I hope Big J, Gabe, is Big J gone live? Because I don't want to miss him. He been hollering and shit. I really need to laugh today. I love Big J. I love his rants. That shit is funny. He said he cussed me out, but he didn't tell me what he cussed me out about. I'm looking forward to being cussed out. I love being cussed out. I really enjoy the shit. Maybe that's what makes me an asshole. I like being cussed out. The biggest problem is that the management culture, boule, demands that you make concessions to participate that are not competent people, just beneficiaries of nepotism. Let me read that again. The biggest problem is that management culture, which is boule, demands that you make concessions to participants that are not competent. That you make concessions to people who are not competent. People just people who are just beneficiaries of nepotism. You know what? I could agree with you on that. I could agree with you on that. Sometimes the gatekeeping gets stupid. Can we say that, Ambassador? Sometimes the gatekeeping gets stupid. And I would argue that not argue, but I would like to say that maybe some of that is within institutions where Boule have set up shop and they're not going nowhere and they are protected, that their gatekeeping becomes toxic. It becomes toxic. It becomes, like you said, nepotism. It becomes a pathway that they create only for people who they particularly know. I have come in contact with people who are like, when Eddie Long was strong and he was alive, there were people who were in his church, a lot of black middle class, a lot of black professionals. If you were not willing to submit to Eddie Long and his institution, and I'm not playing, I've seen this in many places. They were like a cult. You could not get a job. if you happen to be part of another church and you wanted to get a job or get access to something, and they would say, well, I'm not a Christian, and I have a lot of critiques for Christians. Okay, I stand on the outside. I'm just the outsider when it comes to religion. I'm in the deep south, not deep south, but I'm in the south, and people carry their Christian card on their front jacket pocket. You understand? They advertise very quickly in conversations among people who look middle class to middle class or boule to boule. It's going to come out real quick. I go to Berean. I go to Berean. People know what you're talking about. You say Berean. I go to the Martin Luther King Church. Everybody who thinks they're somebody belongs to a church here, a big one. I go to Life World Changes. It's like gangs. It's like Christian gangs. And so you have to be careful when you talk to people because there's a pecking order. And at that time, Eddie Long, in my opinion, his church was mostly for new money celebrities and wannabe middle class, wannabe boule niggas. That's what I saw Eddie Long's church as. Berean and also the Ebenezer, those two are establishmentary. Okay. Even World Changes is kind of like, the establishment blacks, there's a particular place they go over out the west side, right? Cascades. That's more establishment. This was some new nigga shit. This was some new flashy, wannabe rich nigga shit. Eddie Long. But those people were trying to be and emulate the same energy of the true black boule. So when they would get into places and spaces, they would pull that code card out. It was like, if you're not at Eddie Long's church, I'm inviting you. And I hope to see you and I'm holding you accountable. And these are the same people that are on debit cards, right? So I had a lot of students. I was surrounded by people who were Eddie Long followers. They were part of that church. And so that's how they started pretending to be boule, pretending to use the mechanisms of the boule and the black middle class, professional class. They started abusing those methods as gatekeeping. And that was even on my job. I told y'all I dealt with that. Several of those women in my department were card carrying Eddie Long sycophants. And it's almost like that was the measure. Like you can't pass unless you belong to Eddie Long. It's crazy. But that was commonplace in Atlanta during that time. And there's still a culture of that here. You know. People will measure you by the church, the mega church you are affiliated with. They will give you, and so what I'm saying is they create pathways, they create opportunity, and they hand out stuff to people just because you belong and submit to the same mega church. They did the same thing with the AKA and Deltas. I went to, I won't even talk about this interview transfer that I had to do. It was horrible. It was horrible. The bitch put that shit in my face and she was trying to haze me on the spot. And I just told her, bitch, you can have that job. You can just have it. I was trying to move up in my county. I was trying to move up. There's this place called the Bryant Center, and the people who are tech savvy and stuff like that. I was trying to get an online teaching job and in leadership and stuff like that. This is where all the technology, the Cobb County schools comes together. The big professionals. I was trying to get a step up, and she was the director, and she had all that AKA shit on her. They let you know who the fuck they are, right? Fucking elephants and shit every goddamn where. And when the bitch took her big high heel shoes and leaned back in her chair and put her high heels and crossed her legs on that motherfucking desk, that big ass desk in that huge ass office, in her office director's suite, when she leaned back and throw them legs up, that was a sign. That was a power move as I'm doing this interview, right? And we talking about possibility of having $120,000 as a teacher, step up from a teacher. I was making like what, 94? I'm talking about possibly making more than $30,000 more than what I was making. And that bitch pulled rank on me. And I'll be honest with y'all, I have never been so humiliated in my life. When people have power and they have access, they will and can abuse it. Light skinned bitch. Yep. I'm not a colorist. I'm just letting you know the bitch was light skinned too. But she did me nasty. So I know what you're talking about. People can abuse that shit. They can absolutely abuse it. That's not how it's supposed to be done. Access does not mean gatekeeping to the point where you think you're gonna humiliate people. That's bullshit. No doubt. Okay. But I just say what she did. You know, she throwed her high heels. I'm talking about them sharp, pointy ass high heels. Sharp ass high heels. She threw them shits on that desk. And that was a sign to me. Assume the position, bitch. Y'all understand how what of a power move that is to pull your feet from underneath because the interview just started and you cross your legs and put them, you throw your legs across your desk like that. I ain't never seen no shit like that in my life. That was a power move. She was letting me know, bitch, you ain't shit. You gonna beg and grovel today. You gonna beg and grovel today. That's what she told me. Without saying it. You will beg and grovel today. That's that gatekeeping, that toxic shit right there. And when I seen her throw them shoes up like that, so ooh, because technically that's very unprofessional. That's the first thing. So at that point I got my armor on, I'm ready. I want the job, but damn it, I ain't finna go but so far. Boy, I could tell y'all some stories. Ooh, these people, ooh. I had one technology job I was trying to get this man. Ooh, he called my phone at the school. I'm a teacher in my classroom. And he said, it's lunchtime, what are you eating? I'll never forget it. That shit was so creepy. I found out about the culture of sleeping your way to the top from this man. He's sitting as a high director, okay? Because people will use gatekeeping to sexually exploit you. He says to me, he knows I'm married. I already handed in my information to him because, see, everything don't go through HR. Sometimes you know people who help you get where you want to get. My information has been passed to him of my ambitions. Okay. I went over there and made myself known because I attended a voluntary training and I introduced myself and I let him know that the person who handed my information to him, I'm that person, right? Sometimes you need a person to walk you across the bridge. So I had my person make the bridge, the introduction to walk you in, from person to person, that gatekeeping. I used my gatekeeping, okay? My gatekeeping person helped me to get and cross the bridge because everything don't go through HR. Everybody should know that. HR is an institutional bullshit, okay? It's people who know people who take you to the door of the person who can make a decision. We know that. So I've done all my footwork. And this man calls my phone, and I'm sitting at my desk as a teacher, making 94,000, hoping to make 120, 130. These are the jobs that I'm aiming for. It's not a lot of money, but it ain't too bad for a black bitch who's just trying to chill, right? So that's why I was just like, I'd be ready to go to business for myself. I tried to climb up, and I found that it was toxic. It was toxic either way. I try to go the path of black men, which I've always done, and that has been serving me well until I got to this motherfucker. To get to a certain status, you get to a place where these motherfuckers know you gonna suck dick or you gonna do something for it. And I'm not. I'm fucking not. Okay? I'm not self-righteous. I'm just telling you, I'm not sucking dick to make 120,000. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not. I'll go into business for myself. It's not that deep. But it's motherfuckers that will. And because of the motherfuckers will, that shit is kind of out there. They don't hide it. I'm just telling the truth. Okay, I'm confessing. I'm confessing. I'm telling the truth. So this motherfucker, he's like probably like 55, and I think I was in my 30s, and he calls me. It's so corny. It's so cheesy. Just cut the shit. He calls, and when I went to that training, there was certain shit he was doing. There was certain movements and the way he was looking at me, I was just picking up. I was like, oh God, I'm on alert. I'm on alert. I see the energy. I think I know where this is going. But he calls after the training, he calls my phone in the school. I ain't give him my extension. But when you at the upper level, you can get to anybody you want to get to. So he calls my phone and he says to me, it's lunchtime, what are you eating? What are you eating for lunch? I think that's what he said. And he don't know if I got students or not. He don't give a fuck. He don't ask. It's around lunchtime. And so he says, what are you eating? And I said, who, what, hell, excuse me? He said, I asked you, what are you eating? And I said, eating chicken and rice. He said, okay. He said, I need you to bring me that. He didn't say when. He didn't say right now. He said, I need you to bring me that. And I think I said something like, oh, you know what? I got a meeting or something. I don't know. I said some shit to get off the phone with him. He calls back the next day. He asked me, he said, what are you eating? I thought I told you to bring me some food. Y'all, oh my God. Oh my God. I said, ooh, wee. And then he asked me, did I cook and some other shit? And he said, we should have lunch together. I said, no, 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 no. You got me wrong, 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 wrong. You think I want this $120,000 job so bad? Nigga, you got me wrong, wrong, wrong. This is the type of shit. I don't know what else and where that would have went because I cut it off right then. I cut it off right then. Before you get started. You're not gonna call my phone in my classroom every day at lunch and act like I'm being insubordinate and I'm not bringing you some food with my money that I cook. Who the fuck is you, nigga? I don't know you. You ain't my husband. I don't cook for you. What are you trying to do? I could turn, I mean, but you see how slick they are? You see how slick they are? What am I gonna do? Go to HR and be like, this man's asking me what I have for lunch? What does that prove? It's a slippery slope. He wanna break down the barriers of professionalism slowly but surely. That's what I'm saying, y'all. I'm a bitch. I done seen some shit. That's why I was like, it's time for me to retire because I can't move up. I got as many degrees as I'm willing to get for how much I can make. I'm stuck at 94,000. I'm stuck. I'm stuck here. And y'all still got shit I'm doing on the side. Y'all got investments, other shit. So it ain't that deep. Got property I'm renting out monthly. I got other shit, other business I'm doing on the side. I got other shit. So don't think this is all I got. But I'm trying to invest my degrees to make as much as I can make. But this motherfucker want his dick stuck, and I'm not doing that. You keep asking me about what I'm eating, and am I going to bring you some every day? You starting a pattern. You getting unprofessional. I seen how you was looking at me. I heard the unprofessionalism in your comments. You not taking me down no dick sucking road. That's not gonna happen. And let me tell you something. Being married does not matter. What I come to find out is that bitch that had crossed her legs at that table, she went down that path. She was making about 200,000 as a director. 200 something thousand. They pay our superintendent 400,000. Y'all understand? DeKalb County got some money. They got some money, baby. But you got to be willing to stoop and bow, lick pussy, and suck cocks to get it. That's what I found out. I keep that to myself because I still do contracts. Now, as a vendor with school districts, I do contracts. So I don't speak on shit that I didn't see too much. But let it be known that woman who was a director, she's retired now. Come to find out, she had sucked some dicks too. Okay? So I get it on the back end, baby. Y'all see the kind of bitch I am. I ain't gonna suck y'all cocks and do all that crazy shit. I'm a contractor now. I get checks written to my business from the same place. You understand? That's how that works. That's how that works. You don't have to allow that lay down and all of that type of stuff. You don't have to lay down and beg people. But that bitch, She took me on a loop. She was hazing me on the interview. Y'all know how quick the interview's supposed to be? And she was a tall bitch too, and I'm short. So I was feeling, I was feeling intimidated for a lot of reasons. She had a big ass office. I'm this little short bitch sitting on a little chair, hoping for a chance. With all my degrees, I got my little resume. I'm trying to break into the big leagues, work at the district level. Can I get in? I have the accolades. I got everything you need. Can I have a chance? Right? And honestly, when I came to her, I did not have an inroad. I didn't. I did with the dude, but I didn't with her. Now maybe I should have went to my friend Angela, who's an AKA. If I really wanted it that bad, and I'd have had Angela call and have a conversation to make a way for me. Maybe. But I was determined that I was gonna do this shit on my own. This is one of the times, y'all. It was the biggest humiliation of my life. I decided in and of myself who I am, what I am. I am going to go on this interview and I'm gonna get this shit just based off of my fucking merit. No inroads, no hookups, no people gathering and making a way for me. None of that shit. No connections, no networking. I'm not doing none of it. I'm going in here raw. Man, I had the biggest humiliation of my fucking life. But let me tell you real quick about that dude. What I did is I ended up telling him, I said, you know what? I realized I'd rather be in the classroom. I don't want to do, instructional technology coaching like full time. I'm good. I'm good. Because I realized I would be working directly under him. And that right there was not going to work for me. Even if he gave me the job without sucking his dick, he's going to continue to harass me. So, no, I'm good. I told him, I said, I realized I love the kids. I love the kids. I'm going to stay in the classroom. And instantly he knew that his leverage was over. And the motherfucker didn't ask me no more. He didn't bother me no more. I never saw the guy again because he works over there, right? Way over there. I'm in the classroom. So I didn't take my ass over to the technology center no more. I just closed that up. But I did go to the other technology center. That was one route I went. When I realized I'm not going to suck dick and fuck to get no $120,000 job, right? I took the other route. I said, okay, I can go over to the Bryant Center. There's a woman who's a director. I thought I was gonna just walk in that bitch. She black, I'm black, sisterhood, da da. Shit. Shitting me. She did a power move. I don't know. I guess you just say it's a lesson in life. It's just a strike. It's just a fucking strike. I took the biggest L I have ever taken in my life professionally over there. Walking in raw with no networking, no nothing behind me, with me. And she proceeded to just drag me. She dragged me in every way she could. Y'all, an interview's supposed to last how long? Long enough for you to ask the questions that matter. Do you know about this institution? Why do you want to work here? And what qualifies? You're three motherfucking questions, okay? Those are the nature of the questions you ask people when you want to see if it's a good fit. They've got their resume, anything you needed them to write and explain, that shit is on paper. You can get details and you can get them to explain the details in person and figure out whether or not their personality or da 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 da. How do you work with others? These kind of things. Are you a good team player? Are you a leader? These are basic questions. You'd have had 10 questions. The 10 questions should not have taken what? Less than what, 35, 40 minutes? If you're efficient for the interview. No. Y'all, this motherfucking shit took 4 hours. Do y'all know why it took 4 hours? This bitch proceeded to drag me. The first thing she did is she told me to sit there. I sat there, she left the fucking room. The bitch went on lunch. Do y'all hear me? She told me to take a seat, she'll be back. That bitch took lunch. She went somewhere for an hour, and I still sat there with my dumb ass. Talking about humiliation. So she comes in, and when she comes back in, she crosses her legs on top of the desk. That's her power move. Bitch, I made you sit for an hour. I know I got your dumb ass. Then she proceeds to snarkily ask me questions that are on my fucking resume. Oh, I see you go to Agnes. You went to Agnes Scott. Tell me about that. She wants to know my experience at Agnes Scott College. Now, I don't know if that's because she went to Spelman and she feeling some kind of way. I don't know. I will never forget this woman. I will never forget her. I have had some black women be so nasty to me and hand me my ass. I had one in my HOA do it. And it's like an old mean bitch in there, and you can't say shit. You can't say shit. You can't say shit to them. Okay? They have an intimidation factor because they truly are powerful. And you know they are. You just can't say shit to them. You can't. You want to, but you can't. You don't know what's going to happen if you do, but you just can't. Okay? That's real power. You just want to, but you know you can't. That's real power. You fear the consequences, even though you don't have any idea what they would be. You just won't fucking cross that line. Something tells you you won't be okay if you do. That's all you know. Something's telling you you're not going to be okay if you cross this line. I mean, this is the type of bitch, she's so interconnected. She's a director, high level. She could easily call, if I want to go off on her and talk crazy to her and cuss her out like she deserved to be, she could easily go and call somebody and tell them that I was unprofessional in HR and have my ass put down and never get an opportunity ever again. She could do that. Let me be clear. She's connected like that. She could do that. She could ruin the whole fucking rest of everything I'm trying to do in my cozy place where I've invested my career, right? She could destroy me, no doubt. I've seen it done. I've seen it. I've seen it. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I've seen people fuck with the wrong person and get destroyed. I've seen it. Okay, trust me. Powerful people can do that. One word, one call, that's all. You're done. So anyway, she throws her leg up and informs me that, yeah, I just went in and took lunch. I was like, wow. Wow. What the fuck do you say to somebody who told you to sit in the chair and you'll be back? And they come back like ain't nothing happened and tell you that they took lunch while they knew your ass was sitting there. This is why the interview took 4 fucking hours. So I'm already humiliated because I'm sitting my black ass there and I'm trying to figure out where is this going and how should I behave. And the fact that I've come this far and now I'm in front of her, do I go forward or do I give the fuck up? Which one do I do? This bitch is hazing me. She's sending me through the gauntlet. I don't even know how this is going to turn out. The only thing I can lose, because I'm not going to act stupid with her, I'm not dumb. The only thing I can lose is this opportunity to make $120,000 plus dollars. Okay. And y'all got to remember now, I got student loans at that time. I got student loans that I'm thinking about. I got $190,000 of student loans that must be paid back with all this education. Okay. So I have a little bit more invested than just the salary. I'm thinking, oh shit, if I make an extra 20,000, I could take that and flip that and start paying these student loans off faster. Get the fuck out of this debt. Great, and then maybe I can retire early. I'm thinking shit like that. This bitch is hazing me. She went to lunch, told me to sit my black ass down. I'm professional. I'm doing what I'm told to do. I'm doing what's supposed to be done. And this, mind you, is an institution I'm already part of. I'm trying to step up. I'm not looking for a new job. I'm already part of this institution. I am trying to step up from $94,000 to $120,000 plus dollars. And she would be my boss. I said to myself, God damn, I'm in a bad situation. Because if she's doing me like this on an interview, I can only imagine what she's going to be like as a boss. This boss bitch would be my boss. Mind you, the AKA is flashing behind her. I'm not an AKA, y'all. I don't have no inroads here. The pink and the green and the elephants and the diamonds and shit. It's flashing. She got the shit all behind her. So imagine that. She has this big suite. She's got this big encasement. It's just full. It's like a shrine to the AKAs. And she's sitting there with her big fucking heels because the bitch is 6 foot tall. She got these long ass feet, these big pointy heels, and she's got them in my fucking face. I'm looking at the bottom of her fucking shoes while she's interviewing me. If that ain't a power motherfucking move, I don't even think I could treat nobody like that. She went on lunch for an hour and let my black ass sit there to see how stupid and obedient I would be. Now, what happens next is simply amazing. It's an anomaly. It's just unexpected. What would be the likelihood that her do girl? What would be the likelihood that her do girl also went to Agnes Scott? So this is how I know it was a hazing setup. She don't want to talk about my accolades. She don't want to talk about what do I know, how good at technology I am, my training methods for adults versus the classroom, how that would translate for the district. She don't got no questions about that. She goes straight to, let's talk about Agnes Scott College. What were your experiences? And I said, well, you mean the classes I took? Because, I got transcripts and shit. And I got graduate school. Y'all mind you now, I got graduate school, multiple degrees after Agnes Scott. So I'm confused why we're talking about Agnes Scott, which is my undergrad, when I got multiple graduate level degrees. Why are we talking about Agnes Scott? It's a setup. She says to me, she kind of sits up and she says to me, it is so ironic that my assistant, so and so, graduated from Agnes Scott too. I want you to meet her. I want you guys to talk. She puts me on a mission. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? She's putting me on a fucking mission. I am a multi-graduate after Agnes Scott. Why do you need me? And the girl was black. See, you don't meet that many black Agnes Scott graduates. Not that common, okay? It's all women's college. She's like, I want to see you guys talk. What the whole fuck does that have to do with me and getting this job? You watching me and her talk about a place I graduated from 10 fucking years ago. What the fuck does that? May, be smart, be easy. Shh, chill out. Go along with the bullshit. Go along. You on a treadmill, girl. You a hamster. Run. Run, bitch. Run. Shut your ass up. Be humble. Let this shit play out. Be easy. Be cool. Be cool. Be cool. We do not know where this is going. Let's see. Okay. So then she says, hold on a second. We ain't talking about nothing now. It's been an hour, hour and a half. We ain't talking about nothing about this motherfucking job. She gets her cell phone out, still legs on the goddamn, pointing at me. I'm seeing the bottom of her shoe. She gets her cell phone out and then she starts calling. The person doesn't answer. She said, just hold on a couple of minutes. And she turns around and goes, she says, I want you to talk to, I'll just say the woman's name is Allison. I want you to talk to Allison. I want you guys to meet each other. Maybe I can talk about Agnes Scott, your experiences. She proceeds to turn her fucking ass around. She, in one swift move, swivels right around and goes into her crevice where her computer is. Her computer is not on her front desk. It's on the back desk built into this shrine. I'm watching the back of this bitch's head for what? About another hour. Yeah, yeah. Every, like, what, 20 minutes, she'll call and be like, Allison, where are you at? She actually has sent Allison on a mission to go buy something. I don't know if it was food or supplies. It wasn't important. She never turned around and be like, you have anything else you got going on? Or, maybe we should just go ahead with this interview. None of that. No. This had a purpose. I'm going to break you, bitch. I'm going to break you because in order for you to work for me, I'm going to have to make sure you a broken bitch. I'm going to have to see how far you will fetch. You can't work for me unless you're willing to play my games. And see, as I'm sitting there, I'm just like, only thing I need to do is get out of this bitch. I don't want no job. I just want her not to fuck up the one I got. I'm going to be polite. I'm going to walk out of here. I'm going to smile. I'm going to be a fake bitch because I want to kill this hoe. So I'm seeing the power dynamic. She's got me sitting there feeling completely humiliated. I'm looking at the back of her fucking head against this AKA shrine, and she's just typing. And then she starts calling people, and I'm just sitting there. My ass ain't moved in 2 hours. And then finally, she says, Allison, I'm waiting on you. Like, she gives her that's pretty much her cue of like, all them other times I didn't really, the bitch might not even been nowhere. She might not have been no driving, picking up shit, for all I know. She might have been talking to nobody, for all I know. These are games. This might have been her first call. Allison, I need you to come into the office. This might have been her first call to Allison. She just need to waste another hour of my time. And I'm sitting silent. I ain't saying shit. I'm just quiet. Just quiet. Waiting on her to decide what she wants to do with me. I swear to God. Ooh, boy, I'm talking about I took a major. The way I was feeling that day when I walked out, I was feeling so low. I was feeling so low. I was feeling like a motherfucker with a third grade education. I said nothing I ever did mattered to this bitch ever. None of my accolades, none of my accomplishments, none of the things that the state of Georgia Department of Education has said about me, as far as my merit when it comes to standardized testing excellence, nothing. All the training I've done, all the knowledge I had, this shit didn't mean nothing to this bitch. Nothing. Nothing. It meant nothing. That was the humiliation. To find out that for some people, none of that shit. The only thing that they want from you is 100% submission. And outside of that, you don't have any value. I found out. But I also realized that I don't want to work for people like that. I don't want to be in any proximity. I want freedom. I always want to be free. I always want to have dignity. And that's the only thing that matters to me. It showed me who I am and what I'm made of. And I got one snarky comment in before I left. But that was the one that put the nail in the coffin. Not completely, but it guaranteed that I would never, ever, ever, ever be able to work anywhere near the woman's jurisdiction. Okay. Oh, hey, Venus. Niz is my husband. That's his name, Niz. Nizz, Niz. I don't like keep saying my husband, my husband. It sounds weird. My husband, my husband, my husband. So I just start putting this fucking name, Niz. It sounds so redundant. Hey, girl, what's going on? I'm telling this story about how this bitch handed me my ass and tried to humiliate me on some power dynamic shit when I tried to get a job for $120,000 as a teacher, trying to step myself up. That's what I'm talking about. So anyway, I'm gonna get to it because I know I'm dragging. I'm dragging. So I'm sitting there and she finally spins her fucking chair around. Y'all gotta see this woman. She moves like Wonder Woman with her tall ass. She spins her chair around and she proceeds to put them goddamn feet right back the fuck. Okay, cool, Venus. Right the fuck back on that goddamn on the damn desk. Allison, I don't remember the lady's name. Allison. She walks in. She's just the like most delightful, lightweight, easy going, easy breezy. Yes, Dr. So and so. This woman is a doctor, mind you. And there she sits as a doctor, and I'm not a doctor. So I'm already feeling some kind of way, right? But she probably wouldn't have hired me if I was a doctor. She'd be afraid I would take her job, right? So there's a reason why everything is going how it's going. But she is a doctor, Dr. So and so. And so the girl walks in. We're close to the same age. And she says, you guys, you both, and all of a sudden now she's got a different energy. It's like showtime for her. She's excited. She's reinvigorated. She's been quiet as fuck this whole hour between her phone calls and her typing on her fucking computer, ignoring my fucking ass. So now we're 2.5 hours in, maybe three. I'm just sitting there like a lame. And she's reinvigorated, new energy. Oh, so and so. I would like you. She's looking for a job. She points it out. She's looking for a job. She's implying. You guys would be working together. So I figured you guys should talk. So there's a little hope in my heart, just kind of, sort of, but it doesn't matter because I won't work for her no more. Or work under her, rather. And she points at me and she says, she's looking for a job here. She's applying. And, naturally, as my assistant, she would be working with you very closely. I would like you guys to talk. So she's setting the stage to make us dance. I want to see you niggas tap dance. Black woman now. There's one of mine, she's black. And so on cue, I'm thinking, what does she want me to say? What does she want me to do? The girl leads. She leads the dance. Oh, well. Well, Miss Freeman, when did you graduate? So, well, okay, we'll start with graduation dates. All right, cool. She's leading the way. She's showing me how to do the nigga tap dance, the nigga bitch tap dance. This woman wants to see us nigga bitch tap dance. So we're nigga bitch tap dancing. She's leading the way. She asked me what year I graduated. I tell her. And I, in turn, I took the cue. Well, what year did you graduate? See, I'm feeling humiliated now. I'm 3 hours in. We ain't had no real discussions of professionalism leading me to this job. I didn't wait for this bitch to go to lunch, looked at the back of her head, and now I had to wait for this woman to show up so I could have a discussion about a place I graduated from 10 years ago that's not fucking relevant. So what is this based on, merit or not? Well, I graduated from so and so. Oh, okay. And she's like, well, what professors did you have? What was your major? We talked about our majors. And this bitch is just looking on. She didn't cross her arms. She's looking at me with satisfaction, just pure satisfaction. And I know I probably look pathetic because I'm looking at her and I'm trying to figure out is she approving, not approving. Is she satisfied? Is she getting what she waited for 3 hours? So my eyes are darting back between the girl that's standing up looking at me while I'm sitting down, having a conversation with me, and this woman who has got her feet on this desk with the AKA stuff dancing in the background, looking smug and satisfied with herself, exercising her power over me. And my eyes are darting back and forth between them. And I have this fake ass smile, a plastered Burger King smile, to look and appear like I don't have an attitude because I'm flaming and I'm burning with pride and feeling humiliated inside. I'm trying real hard to cover that up. I'm not sure, and I think that's why she was watching me. She was looking for any sign of resistance. This bitch was a narcissist. A narcissist. But I'm sure I look real crazy, my eyes darting back and forth between them, trying to see are they approving of me? Are they offended by am I getting along? Am I not getting along okay? Trying to read the room, trying to feel the vibe, any little facial gesture, signs of approval, signs of disapproval. Between the two of them, my eyes are darting back and forth. And I'm trying to hold a decent conversation and sound intelligent and amiable and all kind of other shit at the same time. I'm tap dancing like a motherfucker. I'm doing my best jive. I'm the Sambo in the room, being humiliated. And I can tell this black girl, she's okay. She's calm. She's not, she's past the gauntlet. And I was thinking, could I be her? What if she's in a good place? Like after this type of shit, what if after this initial phase, then you're okay and you don't ever? I was like, nah, fuck that shit, fuck that shit. I don't want this job. I don't care. I'm not invested. I just want to get out of here in one piece with my career that I came here with intact. That's all. That's all I got to do. So we have this conversation, y'all, for like 20 fucking minutes about Agnes Scott. And I noticed that the woman seemed most the less academic stuff we talked about and the more experiences we talked about Dr. Ball and how he was in the basement and she had certain did you have this particular Dr. Scott for political science and what do you think about the women's program and stuff and I'm just my eyes are darting and I'm looking for approval, I'm looking for a chance, I'm looking for opportunity, and I'm not reading shit. But I did notice that the more we got away from anything having to do with this job and we talked casually about bullshit that didn't matter, this woman was looking like she was happy. The less academic the conversation and the giggles, oh yeah, I had him too. He was crazy. Ha ha ha. She was excited about that part. The camaraderie, that type of shit. That's when she seemed to be, and she's just watching. I want to see how this nigga bitch is gonna dance. How fast can she dance? How well can she dance? Does she do it with grace? Is she passionate about the nigga bitch dance? I'm so fucking humiliated. Oh my God. Never in my life. I wanted to run out of there and leave so bad. I don't want to dance for you no more than I want to suck that man's dick. I'm done. I am done. Fucking done. I will never go down this path again. I will never, ever, ever. I'm done. I'm done. The shit that people got to do to make a certain amount of money to get over that line, I'm not going to do none of this shit. It don't matter whether it's a man or a woman, because you know what? They paid their dues. They sucked the dick somewhere. They fucked the dick they didn't like, okay? They squatted and swallowed somewhere. I'm not doing none of this. I'm not sucking no female clit. I'm not sucking no dick. I'm not doing none of that for no goddamn money. My daddy didn't raise no fool. Okay? And I wanted to tell it so bad. I just want to get up. May, I am who I am, y'all. I'm an asshole. I am. I'm a bold bitch. I'm an activist. I got a fire in me. I'm spicy. Y'all know how bad I had fantasy while sitting there doing this fucking nigga bitch dance. I had fantasy. I wanted to stand up and be like, bitch, I don't want this job. Fuck you. I mean, I had so many things I wanted to do. I wanted to just clear off her fucking desk, reach over and slap the bitch. I had so, I had so many things I wanted to do, but I was powerless and I knew it. So I'm doing nigga bitch dance against my will. And this girl, she's like, okay, thanks. Just like on cue. She tells the girl, Allison, go do something else. Thank you. Just okay. Bye-bye. There's this movie, The Devil Wears Prada. She acted just like that. That's the fucking energy of her. The Devil Wears Prada. If you've ever seen that movie, she acts just like that. And Allison was just like, okay, all right, it was nice meeting you. And I was like, okay, thanks you. Thanks for doing the nigga bitch dance with me. She was helpful though. She tried to give me cues and she played along. She knew what the fuck was going on. She's probably an AKA. She's probably in there, right? I'm not. And then the woman after the interview, that part, and she goes, "Oh, hold on." And the whole time I should mention, anytime she's got a phone call, she says, "Pause, hold on, pause." I should mention that. That's what adds to the time. We could be there and whatever. Hold on, pause. She gets on the phone, she spins around in her chair, and she turns around, gives me the back of her head, and she proceeds to talk as long as she wants to. We have all of that. Okay. So now we're at like 3.5 hours for no fucking reason. I'm just still there, sitting in that chair like an obedient bitch. And then she finally turns back around and she says, I guess she's tired of playing with me, I don't know if you ever seen a dog go and get like a squirrel, they toss it around, they throw it up in the air, they chew on it, make it squeal, kick it around a couple times, throw it up in the air again, and then they just be like, oh, it's just fucking, I'm bored with this. It's limp now. I was limp, okay? I was a limp squirrel, and she was the voracious dog who had fun, and she was bored with me. She was bored. She was fucking bored. Ready to toss me out. And so she comes with her final blow. She comes with her final blow. This bitch turns around and she says to me, and she has some paper or some folder she opens up and she looks down and she says to me, well, tell me why you deserve this job more than anybody else I could hire. And she's looking at me. She's not blinking. She is just staring at me. And I feel like she was staring through me because she was like, bitch, I have humiliated you. I've made you go through all of this. Now I need you to suck my clit. Suck my clit, bitch. That's what I felt that question was. You've got all of my accolades. You got everything. You got internal. You've got access to internal human resources, information about me that's not in this fucking folder. You see all my accolades. You've seen all the training I've done. You know everything internally from the institution we both work for. You can look up everything, every program I've ever taught other teachers and adults and administrators. I have a whole history in digital technology. You don't want to talk about none of that. You don't want to talk about no details. How can you implement? How can you bring something innovative to? She doesn't have any specific questions. She's looking at me and saying, "Bitch, suck my clit." She's basically saying, how can you suck my clit and serve me, which has nothing to do with the fucking job. How can you bow down to me, you fucking narcissist bitch, that you deserve this job? It's not enough that I just sat here for 3.5 hours and let you waste my time with this bullshit and let you disrespect me and I still ain't leave. That's not enough. You're gonna turn around and the only question you have for me, you don't want nothing else. You ain't looking at nothing else. Degrees, any classes, any future this, any plans I have to carve out a particular space here. You don't ask me what I'm looking forward to as a new employee, what I like to implement, what things I can bring. You don't want to know none of that. You ask me out of anybody who I can hire. Why should I hire you? I knew that was a wrap. I knew that was a motherfucking wrap right there. This bitch is just tossed off, a limp squirrel. That's me, and she just wants me to leave. That's all. This is an exit conversation, unhired exit conversation. Because there's no right and wrong. There's no purpose to a conversation like that. You're not looking at anything relevant to why I should actually be working here, that I'm qualified. This is a exit by a bitch conversation question. So something raises up in me. Not welcome aboard. This is the exit conversation. I look forward to working with you, Miss Freeman. You'll be hearing from HR. That was the conversation I was expecting. That's not the conversation. That's not how it was going. It was, I played with you. I had you do the nigga bitch dance. I told you to suck my clit. You didn't suck it with enough compassion and excitedness. I'm bored. Can you go now? So I can get back on my phone and turn my head back towards my AKA shrine. Can you leave? Can you just go? So something rose up in me after 3.5, 4 hours. And I took a deep breath and I said to her, I said, well, I am someone who has always gotten everything that I'm supposed to get on my own merit. That is the only reason I deserve any job wherever I am hired. I thought I had did some shit. I thought I had did some shit. I looked at, you know, how you raise up and you look at a motherfucker like, and what? And what? I dropped that shit down on her desk like, yeah, bitch. Whatever I get because of my merit. And I want you to know it. I thought I was doing something. Do you know that bitch looked down at me and stood up? And she said, well, I guess you have to use your merit to get where you want if you don't have connections now, don't you? The door is open. I said, oh, no, she did. No, this bitch did not exit me like this. No, she did not. No, she did not. No, she did not. She said, I guess you ain't got nothing but your merit when you don't have connections now, do you? The door is open. I said, ooh, baby. That's a nasty bitch. I grabbed my little resume, my little shit, and I just hustled my ass on out that door. And the farther I walked down that hallway, the more angry I got. She didn't bother closing the door behind me or anything. That bitch swiveled her ass, sat down, swiveled her ass, and gave me her the back of her head again. After she said what she said, she stood, she was standing up, looking down at me when she said it. She in one thing, the door is open, and she sat down and swiveled her chair back around like I never existed. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. My 120,000 plus opportunity is over. But see, the truth is, I never had it when I walked in the door. That's the truth. I went with merit alone. I'm being honest. I went with merit alone, and that was never going to be enough. They got gatekeepers. I didn't have an AKA bridge. I didn't have an Eddie Long bridge. I didn't have any bridges and any connections. I have some. I have some folk I know, but I didn't use them. I'm friends actually with several directors, but I didn't think I needed to use them. I thought I had enough education and enough, I'm going on my own. It was a lesson. It was a lesson. It was a lesson I had to learn. It was a lesson I had to learn. And I learned that lesson well, y'all. I learned that lesson well. I learned that lesson well. I thank God I have enough self respect not to end up there, you know? Imagine what kind of hell that is to work for a narcissist like that. Somebody pulling rank on me constantly. That was never going to work. God is the best plan. I trust God. But let me say this. Hope my voice is not echoing. I'm in the master bath, so it's a lot of space in here. So it's very loud. My nose is stuffed up. Um, but let me say this. I have self-respect. And my dad taught me dignity and he taught me pride. And he taught me to always be somebody that you can look at yourself and like. You don't want to be somebody who's ashamed of yourself. Don't do shit to shame yourself. For yourself. Not for other people, but for yourself. You need to be healthy and like your damn self. So I end this in saying that I went home into the rest of my life understanding that you do need contacts. You do need people to vouch for you. You need networks. And so as a businesswoman, I never cold approach anything. I'm just telling y'all. It was a hard, humbling lesson that I learned. So networking is absolutely necessary. The contracts I get, I do business. Those people are gone now. They've retired out that I'm talking about. So all of this is fucking irrelevant, right? These are past experiences. I've retired. I retired early. I took my dignity and my pride and I said, I can create the life I want on my own terms. And it's not because of these incidents. These are just parts along the travel, the journey. These are just things that happen along the journey. And I woke up one day with my alchemy group. Excuse me. I woke up one day with my alchemy group. I had been manifesting and meditating on this particular thing. He kept saying over and over again, what is it that you want? What is it that you want? What is it that you want? He says this over and over again. And he sounds like a repeating machine, the master alchemist. And I almost thought I got it, but I never got it until one day he said, what do you want? You have to move. You have to move. Keep saying you got to move. You got to move. Just move, just move. Move from here to there. It's simple. Do it. I never understood. And then all these things led me to understand move. You see things you don't like, you don't want any part of, move. You know what you want, move. Move. Just fucking move. He says this all the time, move. You don't understand move until you do it. Move. Move from here to there in your mind, and then everything else will follow. I fucking woke up one day and I said, I am a business owner. I am moving. That's it. I moved. You do not understand the power of alchemy until you understand what it is to move. You can talk to you blue in the face. You can read books about moving until you actually fucking move. You don't understand move. It's like a foreign language. He's been trying to get that through our heads over and over. I've seen other people move, but I could not understand move until I moved. I had to literally do it to understand the nature of move. Now I know how to move. Move. Move from that to this. Alchemy. It's easy and simple. I am that which I claim. I am a business owner. I own myself. I love myself. I create my day and what I do in my day. I moved. I simply moved. And that was a blessing of my life when I understood the alchemy of moving from here to there. I did that. And I come back and I'm bringing this up and I'm saying this because all of these things that happen, these discouraging, these different things helped me to actually be prepared to move. Nobody pushed me out of education. I had lots of experiences that told me there's a way to get what you want. And the way that you think it has to happen is not the fucking way. Just move. I want to have an income of at least $120,000 as a black woman. That's what I want. That's what I desire for myself. I want to be out of uh, debt. I want to be out of student loan debt. I had $200,000 worth of student loans debts. How do I move? How? The master alchemist, the master genius alchemist, he doesn't give you the details. He tells you to move. Focus on it. Think about it. Manifest on it. Move. And I woke up one day and I said, I'm not. And I put it up everywhere I could go. I'm not paying these student loans back. I'm done. I don't owe anybody anything. I don't owe anybody anything. And he said, once you have moved, you understand you stand in your movement. You stand in it. And let nothing in reality change you from that. Nothing. Doesn't matter what the outside world is telling you, you have already moved. Move and stay in the embodiment of that which you intended to be, you are now. Period, point blank. Y'all think I put fucking May the Alchemist in my name for fun? Shit. No. I live and move. I live and move from here to there. I live in that. I masterfully manipulate time, space, and energy. That's what I do. I embody that which I want to be. Do y'all know why I'm a gardener partially? Because my master alchemist is a gardener. That's why. That's partly why. He's amazing. He said a long time ago, this is like, I've been with him for like probably 15, 20 years, 15, 20 years. He said a long time ago that he was going to move to Australia and he would be a citizen. And he was an underdog white man. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. He was an underdog, total loser white man. Maybe even poor white trash, we could say. And he said he wanted a different life for himself. He said, I am deciding I'm going to move. I will move. I will become all these things. I don't know how. I don't know how. I don't know why. I want to live my life married happily with dogs. This is all of his manifestations and things that he has decided and things he wanted to move on. All is well documented. Let me say that. That's what we're all about, documentation of movement. The instant, easy manifestations of move, becoming that which you desire to be with no effort, really. No effort, really, except the mind moves. That's it. And he, long time ago, has said he wanted to be a Australian citizen. He said he wanted a natural, beautiful home, and he wanted to live his life focused on nature and be a gardener. And he calls himself a dog dad, puppy dog. No, puppy dad. That's what he said, puppy dad. And he wants to drink. What he say? He wants to drink liquor and eat lamb and all kind of gamey meats. He likes meat a lot, liquor and good meat. This is the five things, and he wants money to come to him easily and effortlessly. He will no longer work the rest of his life. These are the things that he has set down for himself as a master alchemist. And I have watched this man become all that he intended to be. Now, mind you, he walked into a property, he walked into Australian citizenship. He met a nice lady who's also an alchemist. They do podcasts together. He is brilliant. He's amazing. He can teach anybody about this life. And once you go down this path, you will never be the same again. You do not play by the rules that everybody else plays by. You do not engage in the world the way other people do. You are different. So when BGS put that witch hat on me, I found that funny. Once you cross over, you are not the same as everybody else. You're not better, you just don't see the world the same. You manifest, you ask for things, and they come easily and effortlessly because you've embodied it, you move. And like I said, it's all about move. Once you actually move the first time and you really get it, then you're different. Until you understand and move by doing it, until you actually have that mechanism, it's like a click, click. Once you do that, you're different. And you start tinkering and you start playing with alchemy. And you realize in live time, I can change outcomes, I can change circumstances because you know how to move. You move your mind to the end. And ooh, When you start watching the world match your mind, that shit blows your mind. You never the same again. I will never do shit the way other people do. I won't. I just can't. I go into what you call a state. Um, um, I go into what you call SAS. Okay, and in that place, I create. I alchemize my reality. That's what I do. And I'm gonna go into it. I won't bore anybody talking about it, but what I can tell you is it has been life changing for me. It's allowed me to do things at despite time, space, and age. I don't care about any of that shit. You're supposed to do this in this way. You're supposed to get contracts that way. You're such a small business. You're not supposed to have access. I don't listen to any of the rules of the world. I don't care about any of that. I call down from the dark place everything, the void, what I desire. I become, I embody. It is what it is because I said it is. It's simple. I won't get into it on here. I'm not here on this channel to talk about my alchemy, but it makes me move different. It makes me move different. And I'm circling back around to what I was saying about I had an end desire, but I didn't know how to actually move to embody and become that the outcome of which I want. I wanted to be free of student loans. I did not know how that would manifest. But at some point, I actually literally embodied I am a person who does not owe student loans. I am free of clear of debt. I have documentation of these manifestations and these affirmations that I share in the alchemy group. I said, I know this paper says. I would even show it to them. This is my paperwork that says but I don't owe that money. People say, yes, May, you got it. Yes, May, you got it. That's what they would say. Yes, you got it. They would say, you understand. And for anybody on the outside who does not understand alchemy, like these motherfuckers are crazy. You know how I know? Because when I first came to the alchemy, the group, I told them in the chat, I said, you motherfuckers are crazy. I said, I don't know what you're doing. I'm attracted to it, but you motherfuckers are crazy. I thought they were all delusional. I really did. And I would read obsessively the pictures, the evidence. You have to provide evidence because there's a science to this. This ain't no fakery. This is real shit. And you can't show it to everybody because it will change people. I've had a few people I thought were ready. They couldn't do anything with it. They couldn't do shit with it. They can't move. They don't know how. You have to be bold. You have to believe in yourself. You have to have high self-esteem. And low self-esteem, you're going to always lose. You can't do this. Because what you have to do is you have to go in your mind. People call it delusion. In this case, it's not delusion. You have already gone to the end. It doesn't matter what exists right now or what you think exists. You go to the end. So I went to the end. I'm a person who is free. This paper says I owe 190,000. I don't believe that. I'm free. I'm dead free. I don't owe any money for student loans. I don't know. Know what these motherfuckers talking about? Y'all, guess who don't have no student loans today? Guess who? I got paperwork. Zero. I owe nothing. It doesn't matter how we get there. It doesn't matter how we get there. This is you shaping your reality. You get the outcome. It doesn't fucking matter how it comes. Y'all show me somebody 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Show me somebody who had student loans and they just gone. It's out of nowhere. Any point in time, show me that. Doesn't matter if it was Biden and an anomaly, weird student loan. I was taking that position, period, point blank. And poof, like that is gone. That was before this motherfucker came into office. Before he ever spoke on it. I had already decided, declared, I got date stamps. I am free of student loans. That's my mentality. I'm sticking to it, period, point blank. I want to make a certain amount of money, right? I thought thought it had to be through this particular school district by moving up and networking and all that type of shit. I thought I got this. I want to make more than $120,000. I got this one way. Bitch, move your mind, move your mind. Stop staying stuck. This is the flaw of the human brain. You think that you have to find the way exactly. You just create the outcome. That's how you move. You create the outcome. You go to the end. That's it. Go to the end. Now, if the language I'm using sounds retarded, I know why. You have to get the lingo and the understanding and all the lessons behind the language. But you go to the end. That's it. You go to the end. The end result is what? I want to make more than 120,000. Currently, I make 94,000. And that's for doing all this technology work and grants too, right? That's added to make that salary 94,000. These technology grants, the work I'm already fucking doing. But I thought the only way I could make more than 120,000 was by going down this education path, this particular way. My mind was not open to results, the end. The end is what? To make more than $120,000 a year for me as an individual person who's invested in my education. This is my goal. Have I met that goal? Do I meet that goal? Yes, I meet it, but I don't meet it the way I thought I would. Now I write contracts and invoices with that school district. I don't work and do nigga book do book dancing for the director of so and so. I don't do it that way. I write invoices and they pay me for my services for the business that I manifested. I'm making myself what I want to be. It just didn't come in my assumptions, my little petty human assumptions. It don't come that way. You just move to the end. So the master alchemist, he has a garden, and I watched him. He looked out on this land, this crazy Australian land. He paid nothing for this house, y'all. He didn't. The house was given to him. This shit. If I tell you this shit that people manifest, you wouldn't believe it. How they come into the stuff. He just said, I am damn dogs came manifest. At least the second dog. He bought the first one. The second one came out of nowhere. He's a puppy dad. So that's what you see. The dogs are all in the streams, barking and acting crazy. They're jumping on him. Everything he said a long time ago, it all has just manifested effortlessly. It's amazing. And I remember him standing in front of the house in this part of Australia. It's a little bit rural. It's like a cottage. It's a cottage. And him and his wife live in this cottage. And you see her cooking his meat, and you see them go to the shops, and he's buying cigars and liquors and stuff, and best cuts of lamb chop. I mean, it blows my mind because I've been watching him over time, and he's living exactly and being and manifesting, going to the end every day. I've watched their garden, go from a backyard, just bullshit, crazy trees falling, this, that, weeds, and then you look now, it's like this magnificent, amazing Garden of Eden he created for himself and his wife. And he just lives in that reality that he's created. It's a constant cycle. He affirms it, he's become it, and this is who he is. And had he not done that, had he not moved, he would still be, a poor white trash, lonely guy who didn't have great friends and great access and great outcomes, making mediocre money, being angry and somewhat psychotic, and you know, his life is transformed. And that's why he's the master alchemist. He's amazing. And he gave me that gift. He gave me that gift. And I tell him over and over, I thank you so much. I thank you so much because none of the stuff that I experience today, none of what I have and I've co-created with my husband would be possible was it not for this understanding of the alchemy of movement and embodiment. I told my husband, we retire young. Let's be that. And my husband said, yes, I like that. We retire young. We don't have a social security check, and that's the problem with people. The human brain is so petty and so limited. We can't expand beyond, okay? That brain stops all the creativity. And I mean creativity, not only imagination, but also the ability to actually just create in the ethers and draw it down. A lot of people are limited. Their brain can't do it. So that's why I hear people talk about it, and I just laugh. I say, I'm intelligent enough to embody what I want to be. I don't see nothing dumb about that. I know how to use my brain to manifest into the ethers and bring it down, draw it down into reality. I know how to do that. And that's why I can say at 42 and garden like the master alchemist does every day with his wife. I'm following, it's like the path of Christ, right? I'm following that. I'm following the path of Christ. And when I say Christ, I don't mean Jesus Christ. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about those who know the light, following the path of the light. That's what I'm talking about. The light bringer, the light giver. I'm following in the path of that. And I'm grateful for it. Every day I wake up and I do exactly what the master alchemist does. I say, hey, what do I want to do today? How do I want to feel? These are the questions. These are the things he asks everybody who follows him, thousands who follow him every day. Who are you? What do you want to be? Are you embodying it? Are you doing it today? How do you want to feel? And then he says, why aren't you doing that right now? And you will spin your wheels and tell all the reasons. He's helping you. All the reasons why you can't. I don't have a social security check. I'm not 65. I haven't saved up to $10 billion in my 401k yet. I have this, I have that. Oh, la, la. You can go on in infinity with all the reasons you can't, or you can just decide to move. Just move. I said, I always knew. I was like, I'm retired early. I didn't know I was going to retire at 42. That's the thing. It's not one of those. It's not a science of detail. It's not a science of detail. It's a science of decision. It's a science of understanding. It's a science of embodiment. I am that which I want to be. I am. I am. I sound like I'm rambling because I'm speaking on alchemy. Anytime I start talking about alchemy, I sound like a delusional, crazy person because maybe people may not know exactly what I'm talking about. Um, but read up on. I'll just post the book. I'll post the book for anybody who's interested in what I'm talking about with alchemy. I will give you the start of that. Um, I'll post that in my what do you call it? I'll post that in my community tab because the more I talk about it, I even sound crazy to myself. And there's nothing crazy about it. It's total science. But it sounds verbally crazy when you try to express the esoteric. When you try to talk about the esoteric, the unknown, the hidden knowledge, when you start talking about it, you sound fucking crazy. Because it's a science you do, not you talk about. Anyway, with that being said, y'all got to hear how I did to do the nigga bitch dance. I got humiliated, took the biggest L in my life. We talked about men who are sour milk. They're carrying all this baggage and they're making excuses like a motherfucker. We talked about the boule and the gatekeeping. Let me read that last comment. He says, I know you have experienced it. That's why I don't put that culture on a pedestal. You have to be careful around those people. That's why I am one with the dust, along with my dust bunnies. Yeah. Okay, Ambassador. Power to the dust. Power to the dust and the spoiled milk. Power to y'all. If that kind of coping is all you got, hey brother. If dust and spoiled milk is what you got, that's the best you can do. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? Well, let me get off here so I can go see if Big J is cussing. I like to hear him cussing. It's the highlight of my day. And I think my daughter might be up. I don't know. I'm gonna go cook her some lunch. What am I making today? I'm still in that grilled chicken salad. Okay. All right. Listen, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for everybody stopping by. And shout out to BGS, the man who shall not be mentioned. Ashe.